Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dax Shepard, and I'm joined by Lily Padman.
Hi.
We have Seth Meyers today, a comedian, a television host, a writer, an actor, a producer. Late night show, weeknights on NBC and Peacock. Late Night with Seth Meyers.
You wanted to say it like that's so bad.
What? No, that one, I heard it the same time you did. Peacock?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And his comedy special streaming now on Max. Seth Meyers, Dad, Man Walking, and 2 podcasts, Family Trips with the Meyers Brothers and The Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast. Please enjoy Seth Meyers. We are supported by Audible. Thanks to Audible for being the presenting sponsor of today's episode. We could all use an escape these days, and the best way to do it, Audible. With over 1 million titles in their selection, there's more to imagine with Audible.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
You know how I know you're an early guest is when I go to look up my notes
Yeah.
and they don't exist.
Oh,
Because before it even occurred to me I should be saving.
I beat the notes.
Yeah.
Right before the
You're
notes.
prehistoric, I guess, is what it would be.
Wow, no.
I mean, I had notes, but I just didn't either save them on my computer when they were done,
Yeah.
or
Is someone's remotely controlling everything? Like-
they're just
Oh, they're
set.
right here. That's
Yeah,
Rob.
but Rob controls absolutely everything, and they're just permanently there. So
No,
there's very little to do.
I felt like Rob had gone to like some mission control. I didn't realize he was just lurking around back there.
There is.
There
He's got
really
a pretty
is.
cool mission
Oh,
control.
very nice.
Yeah. Your podcast is still as lo-fi as when I did it?
The one with my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's pretty low. We do it remotely because we're never together.
Right.
So, but we have have good rooms. Like you're one of the only ones we've ever done with the person present.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because
And
we were
this-
early days,
We were there.
It was writer's strike and jamming it out.
Refresh my memory. Did I offer?
You did. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very appreciated. Early days of our podcast, and were hanging out.
Yeah. Yes. We spent a glorious, by my
Yes,
account,
mine
summer
as well.
together.
And I think it was about day 4
Mm-hmm.
and I had mentioned that we were starting a podcast, and then you said, can I do it?
Yeah.
Which was a huge get. But I would never have asked you on vacation to do my podcast.
Which was my hunch. But
Yeah.
are you ever in this situation? Because this has now happened to me, not a ton of
Yeah.
times, but it happened to me with you, where it's like, I'm friends with you. I'm there.
Yeah.
I know you two have to feed a content inferno.
Right.
And so should I offer, or is that presumptuous and arrogant? And so I
Right.
just did it too to Jake Johnson. We were hiking and he has a podcast. And I go, just so you know, I would always be on it. And he's like, oh my God, I thank God you said that, because I would never ask you. I'm like,
Yeah.
how many of these?
Oh, no.
I do it too. And I just wonder how many are floating out there
I know.
that everyone would be happy to do
Well,
it.
the risk, of course, is you can't make a hard, fast rule because every day there's 1,000 more podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at some
Yes.
point you might.
Yeah.
Do you do this one? I think my worst version of what you said is when you offer, you say to people, do you want a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're good.
They're like, we're actually great. I'm like,
But there's also there's layers of that, because there might be someone that came up and they wanted to say hi to you.
yeah,
And then you go, would you like a picture? And they're like, oh, no, I'm cool. And you're like, well, this is confusing because you.
yeah,
They never say no. They say, oh, yeah.
right.
Like now they're doing you a favor.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, you never should have asked that.
No, but
so
you
embarrassing.
but
And
you
then they
should.
take it, and then I say, will you text it to me?
Yes. And then
Send
when
it
you
to the
tag
group
me, when you
chat.
tag
Just
me
make sure
when
you
you
tag
post
me.
this. I want to be able to repost this. How about this? When's the last time you asked somebody for a picture? Because we just did it in New York.
I know, because I was just talking about the only photo we took at the SNL 50th is Alexi and I got a picture with Bonnie Raitt, which was
Ooh, nice.
a deeply, she means a lot to both of us. And it was one of the most satisfying celebrity interactions I've had in my life.
Ooh.
Okay, so say way more. We did learn on a previous interview with you that you did have, for your wedding, you had
Brad
Paisley, which again, that might be unexpected. So this is consistent with the other
Yes.
unexpected thing, is what I'm trying to say.
So I will just say Bonnie Raitt just happens to be that overlap. Brad Paisley, who I'm a fan of now, came entirely from Alexi and her
Okay.
taste. I was
Right.
not sort of plugged into country music, that especially that more modern country.
Yes.
Now, great appreciation for it. But Bonnie Raitt was like a big deal in my house growing up and a big deal in Alexi's house growing up. So we both
Yeah.
really loved Bonnie Raitt. She performed at the Radio City concert. It was great. And then this was the after party of the Sunday night, the proper show. And I would never ask for a picture with anybody, but then I saw Bonnie Raitt,
Yeah.
and Alexi and I basically decided, let's go say hi to Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah.
And this really wonderful thing happened, which is she had watched Lobby Baby, which is the special about Alexi giving birth in Lobby. And Bonnie wanted to talk to Alexi more than she wanted to talk to me. And then because it was all so lovely, we asked if we could get a picture with her.
Yeah.
And it was great. And
It was great.
you know, where as opposed to wanting a picture because it's who they were, it was more like, can I get a picture to remember this interaction?
Yes. Yeah.
Who have you asked?
Ours was we were walking down the street in New York a month ago, and we saw real life Rainbow Bright. She was like 80,
Wow.
and she was dressed 100% about. Did you see that? I posted a picture.
I didn't see it.
And so I was like, "Hun, look at real life Rainbow Bright." And then we just kind of stopped and we were looking at her, and Kristen was like, "Oh my God, I love her." And I go, "I'm gonna go ask if she'll take a picture with you." And then so I did.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. She didn't know who either of us were. And she didn't understand why someone wanted a picture. She didn't know who Rainbow Bright was.
Oh, so this was just a person.
She was
I had a lot of
genuinely.
questions about
You thought it was a
this.
performer?
Yeah, in my head, I knew that Rainbow Bright was a toy and then a cartoon, but I wondered if it was a
Yeah.
live action show as well.
Well, it is a live action person that lives on Central Park, I guess, south it is.
But is unaware of her
Rainbow Brightness.
identity.
And I got her email, and now we're in correspondence.
It's almost the way you described it would be if you saw somebody dressed like Batman who didn't know they were Batman.
Yeah.
You're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, Batman. And they're like, I don't know who that is, but look, if you want a picture.
Right. And now that one, yeah. So what is the line? What's the marginal line between you're insane if you don't know you look like this person versus you could not know you look like Rainbow Bright?
But also when it's offensive to say like, hey, you look like,
Yes.
I'm not going to say the person.
Shrek.
How did you bring up the Rainbow Bright of it to her?
I said, you look just like Rainbow
Oh,
Bright.
gotcha.
Do you know
So
Rainbow
you ran
Bright?
right at it.
You know, I think that's always my preferred approach. Like,
Wow.
let's get directly into it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. But she was lovely, and she had like turned out to be a singer. It was all serendipitous.
Did you get us a new listener at least? I mean, we're always trying to get new
Yeah,
listeners.
right.
Yeah,
so
we're trying to
it
hit the
makes sense.
streets.
It's funny, as much as Dax was like, I offered to be a guest on your podcast, you also go up to people all the time
All the time.
unprompted and say, I'd love for you to be a listener.
I don't know if you have a well, and then I say, and I don't know if you have a podcast, but I'd love to be a
on
guest
it.
on it.
But if absent of that, I would love for you to listen to mine.
But yeah, I think people could underestimate how much nuance there is when you're like, and I hope you'll take this as not a burn, but it's like you and I have a similar status, which is like Brad Pitt doesn't have to worry about whether the person knows who he is or not, or if he wants.
1,000%.
He wants. Yeah, I think the rung we're at can be. There's a little more to interpretation.
I think of people, I don't know if this happens to you. I think people also, because especially they know us the most as us,
Right. Yes.
that sometimes they think we might be a different person they're also comfortable with.
Mm,
You know, like
mhm.
I think a lot of
Oh.
times people think maybe they grew up with me.
Yeah.
And then they realize like, oh no, you're this other thing.
I get that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I worked with this dude. Like your first thought is like, oh, I must have worked with this guy
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Subway or something in high school.
The most embarrassing, I did the embarrassing one just to make clear that I'm also capable of this mistake. I once met the guy who played Meadow Soprano's college boyfriend. I was like, we went to college together.
Right.
And he was like,
Wow.
no, we didn't. And I'm like, I'm sure we did. And then it was very awkward. And then years later, I was rewatching The Sopranos with Alexi and saw like all his scenes were in a dorm room. And I'm like, son of a gun.
Yes.
Also fully 12 years younger than me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oops. But yeah, he should have said, you do know me as a college student, but you know me as a
Right.
college
I can
student.
explain.
Yeah.
I can explain why you're making this
I don't
mistake.
know if that's on him.
100%. I'm
You
not
know?
blaming him.
I think he could just be like, nope.
I'm 100% blaming myself. I'm just saying that were this to still be happening to him, I would appreciate if he offered this path out.
Now I'm glad we've stumbled upon this topic because I repeat one of your stories pretty regularly. You have one of my very favorite stories about celebrity, and it's about when you were in Israel.
Okay, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Would you please
Can
tell
you share
Monica?
We were in Israel, and I had never been, and we were going for my wife's cousin's wedding, and through connections, we got asked if we would like to have coffee with Shimon Peres, rest in peace,
Okay.
who was the president of Israel at the time. And we said, "Oh my God, of course, we would love to do that."
Once again, already, this is such an interesting
fascinating.
proposition.
Yeah.
A fascinating proposition.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I kind of like I knew Shimon Peres is like a name I would be able to fill out in a crossword, but like don't know much. You know that?
Yeah.
Don't know much.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Morning of, we'll just read his Wikipedia page.
That's
for the
right.
purposes
Yeah,
of being
smart.
informed and like, ready for
being a good guest.
being a good guest. And so we read it and we felt pretty well prepared. And then we had this very lovely coffee. And I mean, a deeply thoughtful and interesting person to talk to. And I'm very lucky we had that opportunity. And then at the very end, he said, is there anything I can show you? Anything you'd want to ask? And I had read that, he had won a Nobel Peace Prize. And so I said, I would love to see your Nobel Peace Prize. And he's like, oh my God, it's right behind my desk. And so we walked behind his desk. And he had a computer on his desk. When we walked behind his desk, my Wikipedia page was on his computer.
No, that's amazing. Oh my God.
I mean, it's truly, yeah.
God, we're just monkeys out here.
And then watching
That's
a very
hilarious.
old, head of state sort of close the browser.
Right,
Yeah.
panically,
Sneak.
casually close the.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
What I was watching today was you telling a story about being on Finding Your Roots, and I was so relieved to hear that we have the same issue with being a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Which was we interviewed him, and then he invited me in the interview.
You did
and
it?
Of course, I had to say yes.
Yep.
He was an incredible guest.
He's incredible.
Incredible person.
Yeah.
Run into
Skip
him.
Gates, what
Love
a
him.
guy.
Yeah.
Yes. But I am both not interested in my heritage at
Nope.
all. And I hate feeling like I have to be excited. I hate the feeling of people watching you unwrap a Christmas present.
Mhm.
It's like top of my list of things.
I felt like it was supposed to be a gift that was bestowed upon me.
That's right.
And yet I was doing theater. Of
Yes.
Oh my
Just,
God.
wow. Yeah.
Tell
Shock
me.
and awe.
There's a really great moment.
Did you feel like you had to cry?
I felt like he wanted that. And
Yeah.
by the way, I knew a couple things going in. One, I don't think my life is shocking.
Uh-huh.
I think you would have known a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And two, even if it wasn't gonna, blow me away.
Right.
I mean, the joke in my special is that, they trace back, a great, a signature in a town ledger.
Yeah.
He's like, how does that make you feel that we traced back one of your ancestors
Mhm.
to the year 1695?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? And
Yeah.
all I could think was, I mean, I knew I came from people.
Right.
Right. I
Yeah.
assume there's an
Like,
uninterrupted.
and so I knew,
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was talking like it was like, and she was a mermaid. Like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
great-great-grandmother was from the sea.
And one of the things I already worry about myself is like, I'm not sentimental enough. So I'm
Yes.
already worried that I'm not emotional enough as I'm supposed to be.
Yep.
And so, yes, none of it's moving me.
I find myself to be a very emotional person, but
Do you?
only for the people that have impacted my life.
That's better said. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I have a real connection to that, and I mean, maybe there's a piece missing where we have I have a cousin who is really into the lineage of our family and always is finding cool old articles and sending them. And when I did one of the things about finding your roots, that one of my great grandfathers started a synagogue in Pittsburgh, and then we go to Pittsburgh once a year to see a Steelers game,
Yeah.
and that's our connection to it, and it's amazing. It's my parents and my brother and I. We go every year.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should drive by. We should look at,
That's
that's
cool.
really, and I think we all had the same thing, which is like, well, there it is.
Yeah.
Looks
Yeah.
like it did on the map.
Yes. Right. So now this is what I want to know from you, if this is the same, which is like, you could tell me my great grandfather invented something spectacular.
Yeah.
I won't feel any ownership over that accomplishment.
Right.
Like, I don't think by any stretch I'm associated with that.
Yes.
Now, the stuff that gave me deep joy is all the criminal stuff in my family.
Yeah.
Because in a weird way, that's something to be proud of. Like, wow, look at these just once removed, your uncles are all murderers and you're not.
Oh. Like
Yeah.
how far
There's
you've
like an
come.
accomplishment in that. To find out someone was spectacular, I don't know the joy in that. It would depress me.
That's very interesting. I do think that the weird thing is a fascinating show would be able to show them what we've accomplished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, in 300 years,
yeah.
your great-great-great-great-great-grandson is on this box.
Yeah, that'd
That
be cool.
I would be. I mean, right? Like some like
Yeah.
Lithuanian tin peddler.
Yes.
It's like, get out of here.
Yes.
Wait. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
pride works that way. It doesn't really work
Right.
up.
Yeah. But then another incredible moment happened in You're Finding the Roots where it was like, what if I told you, how did he set it up about show business?
Yeah. So, and again, you know from doing it, big book in front of you.
Yeah.
He tees it up and then you do the reveal.
It's very dramatic. It's very
Ah.
structured.
And you also you see the camera and you know it's like,
Now's the time.
yeah.
That's
He
right.
wants you to pop. And by the way, you know, I wasn't first season, so I know now that the things that go viral are like
Yeah,
You know, someone really- and by the way,
yeah.
authentic.
Are you a people pleaser in
Yeah.
general?
Oh my God.
You are
100%.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're
So
feeling.
I'm like,
yep.
already feel like,
You want to do a good job
You
for
gotta
Skip.
deliver.
yeah, first skip. And he says, you're a performer. And I said, I'm a performer. He goes, do you know anyone else in your family tree who is a performer? I go, no, I'm not, one person. And he said, well, why don't you turn the next page? Because I think what you're going to see is pretty cool. So I turned the page and it's an obituary about, I believe, my great-grandfather who committed suicide.
Oh, pretty cool.
And I sort of read that and he says, what does it say? And I say, there's an article about my great-grandmother committed suicide. And then Skip Gates,
no.
to his credit, says, I apologize. That's a mistake. We're going to edit that out.
Oh.
And then he said, and then he said,
no.
and then he said, turn another page for me. So I turned
We
another
can
page.
pick up where we. I think
And so
we're
I turned
at.
another page, and it was that my grandfather had been in a school play, and I go,
boy.
my grandmother was in a school play, and he was like, pretty cool, right? And I was like, well,
Oh
it's gonna be-
boy.
As
it's gonna
cool
be
as the
hard.
suicide I
It's
just
gonna-
found out
Oh my
about.
It's gonna be
God.
hard for me to.
Also, I think I would feel then like, oh yeah, my family's boring. Like if the big thing is that my grandpa was in a school play,
Yeah,
like should
Yeah.
you air this? Like there's
Yeah.
not
Right.
a lot here.
well, that exactly. And a lot of people in school plays.
This is
Yeah.
another moment where this is something you learn over time, I think, is you also then have to remember who the audience of the thing is I just did. Because you can,
Yes.
especially if your bar was set for 13 years on Saturday Night Live, you know it won, you know it is a success, you know what the laughter level is. And then you go into a situation like that and you have to remind yourself, the people that are watching the show, they want it fucking bone dry.
The star
Yeah.
is the dead ancestor.
The book.
The information.
yeah, the star is the
yeah.
information, yeah.
So you got you got to adjust what you're judging this
The
performance.
other thing
on.
that was,
Yeah.
we have this like old picture in our house that's, which is that, was something my mom's family always bragged about, which is like some great, his name's Sir Charles Wetham, and I only know because it's on the print. It's like a lithograph, was the Lord Mayor of London, whatever that job is.
Right.
So my mom's side of the family was like the braggy, like we come from like
Good stock.
good stock.
Yeah.
And so I gave a heads up to, the roots people. I'm like,
Yeah.
just FYI, there's a little bit of gold here for you.
Yeah, you got a gem.
And then you have the sort of four branches, and they chose to like follow my dad's dad,
Yeah.
who were like really like Lithuanian, like get out of Dodge in the 1850s, chased out by Cossacks, and I could tell just my mom was like, what?
yeah.
I mean, by the way, as we're talking about how it's not for us,
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with the process they
Oh.
pull off.
It's mind blowing. The show's incredible and people love it. And I'm sure people have come up to you to talk to you
Yeah.
about your finding your roots. And that's started to happen to me. And it's a very specific type that watch the show.
A genie I wish I could put back in the bottle is letting them swab my DNA, which is now in some database that is just going to be, I'm just, because I never cared about that thing, the like 23andMe.
Yes.
But like they do that for you.
Yeah, there's several different ones. I think you do
and
3
so
or
now,
4 of those.
And like, so
Yeah.
now every time I'm like, they're just, somebody's going to buy that data. I'm like, son of a
You're
gun.
also asking for some like random brothers and sisters to reach out to you.
I fortunately, that hasn't happened yet.
yeah.
I know some people that's happened to.
Skip just
Oh,
hit
yeah.
me up to say that a guy sent him an email and sent me the email. It was like a 7th cousin
Oh, wow.
situation.
Oh.
And again, I was like, I don't know how to react.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to not even rekindle, Kindle?
Yes.
What would you do if he reached out and he was like, I really do need to tell you this. Your dad's, or in your case, your mom's not your mom. And I don't know which parent you're closer to, but
Yeah.
what would it do?
I like that you want to know which one I'm closer to. Like,
Yeah, that's a
that's
little
a-
bit
it
of
was
a
very,
That was a
like,
sneak.
who would you be most disappointed if it wasn't your?
in public.
Yeah.
You got to pick
You
your
gotta
mom or
say
your
it.
dad.
Yeah. Which one's
I mean, his
real?
dad's deceased, so we can say his mom.
Yeah.
But what would you do? You'd be devastated because your identity is kind of wrapped up in her.
Really? I think it's more in my dad because they're so
Really?
similar. Like if I found out my mom wasn't my mom, I'd be like, okay, I guess it makes sense. We don't look much alike. And I don't care because she's still the love of my life.
Right.
Whereas my dad would be like, bullshit.
Yeah.
We're carbon copies. What are you talking about? That would be
got
hard for
enough.
me.
I've got enough of each parent that I would call bullshit right away.
Yeah.
Like some real like genetic markers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Here's another I'm going to hit you with a bunch of random questions.
Great,
I thought
love
of
it.
today. One is I was watching you on Colbert, and I do want to know about the difference between being a guest once you've had a show for so
Yeah.
long. And then really specifically, do you have a side of your face?
Oh yeah, I want this. So when
Right.
that's
You want to
when
be the
my guest-
host.
Well, but also like this side of my face is the better side.
That's what, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So like if I think, well, no, that's not true. I was going to say I think all
No, so on
hosts-
your show, you're perfect.
yeah.
We're always seeing this.
Yeah, this is what you want, right?
Yes. So I have a side too. It's this side.
Right.
And so I should be there.
Gotcha.
Once we went to video, all hosts are all on the right side of frame.
Right.
But I was like, tough shit. I need this side of my face.
Yes.
I'm going to be. So that is something when you're on a talk show, does it cross your mind? Oh boy, I have the wrong side of my face on as a guest.
I am thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Kimmel tonight, and I'm already got some real wrong face vibes.
I'm being sincere though. Does that cross your mind?
By the way, I'll tell you, so much crosses my mind about being a guest on a show.
Yeah.
Thinking about the lower half of my body. Like the best thing, the sanctuary of a desk is no small thing. It grounds me. I feel like
You're half
know,
hidden.
Yeah, half hidden.
Yeah.
It's no.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about
It's
that.
a home when you're playing hide and seek.
I
It's
feel like
Yeah,
a
babe.
centaur, but like desk instead of horse.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like a grander version of myself.
And you know what's funny is that would have not occurred to any of us in the audience. But when you said it, Colbert immediately was like, "Yeah, aren't you afraid your sock's gonna have a
Yeah,
gap
just
with
this.
your leg?"
I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I remember when I was a guest on Conan the very first time, he was like, "You gotta. I think it's across this leg because the what." No, I forget. He's like, "There's one leg you cross and you can see the bottom of your shoe."
oh, okay.
So I think about that all the time.
And your dad came at you with that. That tells me a lot about that relationship?
Oh, it's fantastic.
You're amenable to his advice,
Right. Would not matter if I wasn't.
Okay.
It's coming no matter what.
Yeah,
I probably learned to be amenable to it.
yeah. But are you one that can take direction well?
Well, I can certainly take one like that, which is sort of, it's not taste based.
Right.
It was just FYI.
Objective.
But you
Yeah.
weren't triggered at all like, hey, I'm in show business. You're not. You don't tell me.
We've had some we had to work through some stuff early on. I remember like early SNL when things weren't going great. You know, and my dad, again, like one of the reason I love comedy is my dad. So
Mhm.
he didn't just come to comedy because I got interested in it.
Right.
I would say the other way around. But maybe my second year of SNL, which was probably the roughest one, because I had a decent first year and then it turned out like no momentum.
Oh.
You know, and sometimes that happens. Like
you mean just like you weren't getting stuff on
yeah,
sketches?
and
Okay, got it.
and I thought like the era was up, and it isn't necessarily like you still have to do the work. And
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
and we were walking, and he said something along the lines of like, you know, I noticed things like, you know, Brian Fellows' Safari Planet, like those really get some traction. You should try to come up with something like that. And I had to realize, it's the only time I think I was ever walking with my dad where I stopped walking.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to say something,
Yep.
which is, I right now, more than anything, like need you to be super supportive. And he, by the way,
Yeah.
totally got it.
Yeah. Good.
You know, so
You also handled
you're
that well. That's a good thing. Like, I need this.
yes.
Not like, hey, you don't have the right to tell me that. I think
Yes.
that's how I would
Well, it
approach
was also that weird thing because my dad is, you know, incredibly warm and affectionate and all these things, but he also like pushes his kids to be what he thinks the best version of themselves can be.
Yes.
And then one of the things I said is like, hey, he's not my dad or anything, but I just want you to know, like, Lorne Michaels is on it.
Right.
As far as like, you don't have to worry that no one's pushing your son right now.
I'm getting challenged.
Yes, I'm getting challenged, and I've never been more acutely aware of how important working hard is. Because that was my dad's fear about me, was like being a little lazy.
Interesting.
That you would be lazy.
Yeah.
Did you have any grounds for that opinion?
Yeah, I was very lazy in high school.
You were?
I was.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Really?
Oh.
Because my dad would like yell when we were, we misbehave, anytime we lied to him or stayed out too late, or, he was very much like, don't cross him. And he was a real screamer. But there was a time, I think like halfway through my junior year of high school, where I just remember exactly where we were standing in our driveway, where he like, I don't even know why we were outside. Like, I never remember us like talking outside.
Yeah.
Where he was a different kind of angry, where it was like, there was like a deep sadness to it. It wasn't just rage. Like, I was just so disappointed.
Oof. Yeah.
And, it was a real turning point.
Was it a moment of like apex laziness that,
It
or
was,
just was it cumulative?
It was like, because it was like the time where it was like almost too late to like get it right before college.
Yes, you're running out of time.
And was it
so-
a grades thing? Were you like smoking pot?
No, it wasn't. It was just grades. And
Okay.
it was every teacher I ever had was like, he's not applying himself.
applying.
Like that was the
himself.
bummer of like teachers being like, he's smart, he's talented, and he's lazy.
Yeah.
And so my dad was
Yeah.
just like, what
What do we
are
do?
you doing?
I also think it's kind of maybe more common if the bar is set very high, like you have to reach this, you have to
Yes.
reach this, you're capable of reaching this and this. It's like, well, maybe I don't want to fucking do that.
My dad
Yeah.
also, he, was like a scholarship kid to Northwestern, which is where I eventually went as well. But
Yeah.
like he was like ground up. And then that thing of like, you then provide your kids a better life than you had.
Yes.
And you just like lay out the red carpet for them. And
Yeah.
literally all they have to do is just like apply themselves
Show
to the
up and-
know with
yeah.
which they were born.
Yeah.
And I think it was, again, it certainly hasn't happened yet. But now that I have kids, I know that would be the most frustrating thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is like, are they going to launch or not?
Yeah. And it was, it didn't help that like he thought I wasn't applying myself, and every teacher I ever talked to was like, yeah, no, you got it.
Yeah.
Clearly, what you've demonstrated is you have great industriousness. What was the fuel you figured out how to shovel?
One is like you do with the thing you were most interested in doing. I mean, that is
Yeah,
the hardest part about school. Like even now, like, science and math have no appeal to me, but like there is a big part of like, being good in school.
Yeah, yeah.
Is like those things. And so I think, applying yourself to that which does not interest you is, of course, the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're on a first date and someone asks you why you're so driven, what is your explanation?
Oh my.
A first date, if someone said, why are
Yeah.
you so driven?
They've noticed you're really driven and you're successful.
I mean, it always looked like the brass ring.
It just was appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing also, I don't know about you. I feel like there were other things that presented themselves to you as what you could do for a living. I really didn't have anything else that I ever wanted to do even a little bit.
Right.
So then you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, before I got SNL, like you could, driven is one thing, but like, I was doing improv once a week, but I wasn't like spending the rest of my week like
Obsessing on it.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it was weirdly a little lazy to like be that world. And then I was lucky enough to get hired by a few places. And once I actually had a job
Yeah.
where like you knew how to apply yourself, like then it all made sense to me. But it's hard being like driven before you actually have a job in showbiz. And the people who are good at it, I've always been very impressed by.
Yeah, trying to apply yourself to something that doesn't really, you need an
Nebulous.
opportunity for it.
Right.
Yeah, that is hard.
Yeah.
But that's interesting because I would have pegged you as more probably that you had done great the whole ride.
The thing that turned everything around for me in college, because again, I was a radio, TV, film major, and I was immediately, when I did early film stuff, I was taken with, this is too hard. Like
Right.
this is way more science than art, like learning how cameras work. And like,
sure.
I was so bored immediately.
Oh, you were with your
Just-
major.
Again, just bummed out. But there was we had an improv troupe at Northwestern, and I saw that and I was like, oh, now here we go.
The Meows? What
Yeah,
are they?
well done. Nice pull,
Meows,
meow. And then I auditioned for that freshman, sophomore, junior year, did not get in.
Wow.
But that was the drive. That was the thing. And then thanks to a friend of mine in college, this guy named Pete Gross, he was the one who said, we should start going in Chicago
Yeah.
and taking classes. Like, why are we just waiting for this audition once a year
Yes.
and thinking that we're just going to be better because we want to be
Without
better?
any
Yeah,
Yeah,
without actually
exactly.
doing any work.
practice.
But again, that's kind of the only, like, it was only comedy and writing that I ever tried to get better at anything.
Right.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
But you did graduate.
I did.
Yeah. Then you had that most envious 2 years in Amsterdam.
The best, yeah.
God, I'm so jealous.
It
of
was
that.
the best. I'm going back in a couple weeks.
Oh, you are?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You go once a year?
Depends. This time it's the founders who are a married couple are renewing their vows, and so it's a reason for us.
You guys
all to go
always think of a reason.
We
There's
do.
like a
There's
Yeah, like
16 and a
last-
half year
back.
anniversary.
Last year was the 30th,
Uh-huh.
and I think maybe I hadn't been back since the 25th. So there was a gap, and then but this
Okay.
I did go last summer.
And is everyone going to this
I'm going to
wedding
bring my
renewal?
oldest son this time, just the two of us,
Oh, okay.
and we've never taken a trip together. So
Fun.
Are you
to us.
nervous or excited? Or
I'm
both?
here's the part I'm nervous about.
Yeah.
Love my oldest so much. He's very excited.
How old?
9.
9.
Our friend Ike Barinholtz,
Yes.
he's bringing his kids.
Perfect.
So I'm very excited. My
And he's got
son,
girls.
yeah, and my son is like they've traded some like FaceTime videos. So like they're very excited to meet.
Great.
My son is so clumsy,
Okay.
and all my fear is, am I going to let him rent a bike?
Oh.
Because biking in Amsterdam is how everybody gets around, but they bike the way people drive cars, like
On the
that.
Autobahn.
Yeah, it's like they're
Right.
not. It's not a promenade. It's not a afternoon nap.
You got to know what you're
It's a
doing.
free for all.
Yeah. I also am very worried about the fear I project, especially with my oldest.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I did better with the next two, but
Yes.
your first
The
kid,
first when you were
they
little.
see the most, like your whole life you've been like this. And so
Helicopter.
I'm so I'm both like, I know the biking will only work if I endow him
Mm-hmm.
with being good at it, but I have to like trick myself into thinking it's a real weird.
You have to be like back on Finding Your Roots.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put in a performance
Yeah.
that you think he can conquer this
And then
town.
meanwhile, Ike's like, yeah, my kids are great on bikes. I'm like,
Oh.
because I can't be like, we're going to get, you know what's cool? What everybody says you do in Amsterdam? Take an Uber. You've never Ubered
That's
until
really
you've
cool.
Ubered in Amsterdam.
Boats, maybe just
Well,
more
we're gonna boat. We're
rides?
gonna boat. We're
Okay.
gonna boat. Yeah.
So, okay, so you're taking Ash.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to out Ash or you, but he does have a pastoral life in the summer.
Yeah. He is.
So he has room to ride a bike, but he's not.
The thing is, he's ridden a bike. He's good. And by the way, Alexi, who is fearless and
Okay.
is really good at not, she comes from a different stock than I do. And so she
Interesting.
bikes the kids to school every now and then in New York City.
Okay, well, there you go. If he can ride
I
New
know.
York City.
But the
But
thing about New York City is, again, like I'm just worried about other bikers. You know what I mean?
Is it that the standard level of a biker in New York is like people are anticipating incompetence?
Yes.
And you need that.
This is a very astute observation.
Right. So your fear in Amsterdam is like they're not going to anticipate any incompetence.
Yes.
And he's going to ride right in the side of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing is, no one, if memory, it might have changed.
Yeah.
No one wears helmets in Amsterdam, and there's no way I'm letting them not wear a helmet.
Yeah.
So I maybe actually the
Oh.
helmet will be a good indicator. Yeah.
Yes.
Would you do this? Because I have done this before, which is if someone in a foreign language, when you're in a foreign land
Mm-hmm.
and they yell at you, do you like fake that you know that language? You know what I mean? Like, do you not reveal? Because if you're like, my bad, then they're like, oh, I feel like that is adding to the negative impression of Americans. So I'll always say sort of like, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, like I'll fake like
Oh,
that I'm
wow.
I'm a local who has run afoul of the as opposed to.
I have the opposite inclination. I just don't know what's
Right.
going on. I don't belong here. I'm sorry.
I'm a stranger in a strange land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take
That's
it
probably the
easy.
better way. Yeah.
Yeah, because yours runs the risk of like A, he didn't understand me. B, that's an impersonation of us. And that's really,
He's
this guy's a
clearly
dick on top of.
Americans are always trying to do impressions of others.
You're just saying we.
So entitled.
There used to be, it's changed, but when I lived in Amsterdam, there were these, like you would literally go to like a cab stand and just wait. There was a line of cabs. And if you like got out of like a nightclub at like 3 a.m, you'd just be in the line with like all these drunk people.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Sounds fun.
And again, like it was just like easier to not be like, anytime you got in a fight, if you spoke English, then you already lost to the group. Everybody around took the side of the local.
Sure.
Right.
And I remember once getting in a taxi and then some drunk guy got in on the other side. So they had violated the line rule.
Yeah.
All I could do, I mean, again, my Dutch is terrible, but I just kept going, nay, 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 which is no. I was like, nay, nay. And he was speaking to me in Dutch and I just wouldn't come off like, nay, nay, nay. And I could tell that guy's like, it's a weird take, but I must be in the wrong.
You're
It's
like,
the only thing.
I can't just chalk him up to being American because he's clearly Dutch.
He's a
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah, he's one of us. He's a horse. Okay, so I was watching Dad Man Walking yesterday, and I wanted to hash out some of these theories that I learned. First of all, it's a great stand-up special,
Thank
and
you.
the New York Times said it best. Like, it's very fun to see you play a side of yourself that's
Mhm.
not the talk show host.
It's lovely. And it's true, right? It's also a real version of me.
That's right. They're all true.
Yes.
But just before we launch into that, what did you discover about being a talk show host where you're like, oh, I've got to adjust? There's a different demand on me.
There's, again, there's different components of the show.
Mhm.
It's not, I would say interviewing guests, you just learn the more you do it, how there's a million different kinds of guests. And you try to, as quickly as possible, game out what they need from you.
Yes.
Some people just immediately start performing. They
Yes.
like look out and you just realize you're good.
Yeah.
I'll give you a few things.
Yeah.
Other people get really close and you realize, they want to pretend like there's nobody here.
Yeah.
And so and then the other thing I just allowed myself to do in that first chunk of the show where you're out there on your own is just like kind of enjoy being the center of attention, which I had a hard time when I started the show because so much of Weekend Update was jokes, but then you'd have somebody, come out, one of your cast members and you serve them. And I realized that like, that's all well and good, but like when you have your own show, you have to have your own show and you have to allow yourself to let your ego enjoy, this is your time.
Yeah, you got to embrace it.
You have to embrace it
Right.
because they don't like, I don't think people want to tune in and watch somebody who's like not sure if they're the right person for the job.
No, that's not comforting. It's like a surgeon. The surgeon
Yeah.
should really.
You need some narcissism
Have
from
some
your
conviction.
surgeon.
You do. You don't want a
Yeah.
surgeon to come in and be like, sorry, it's me.
Yeah, I hope this goes well. I fucked everything else up
Did
this
go
morning.
to med school.
Yeah. But I've been having one of those mornings. Like I couldn't even make my coffee.
Just like
I broke
all of us, right?
2 coffee cups.
It's the most fun part about, the early on in the show where I was still in SNL brain where, when it goes badly, it just felt like it counted at SNL. And then, because you don't have another show for a week or maybe sometimes 2 weeks or maybe sometimes the whole summer, you just do these one day after the other. And so when a monologue joke bombs, I used to like live and die with it. And now the most fun is like literally telling the audience, like, I also know that bombed.
Yeah.
FYI,
I
you're
heard
not
it
smarter
too.
than me.
I'm ahead of you.
I was dumb today, but I want you to know I also am assessing this with you.
But in the stand-up routine, you get to show like, I don't know, I guess we would probably just label it maybe the pettier side of yourself that we all
I think it's
have.
petty. It's like being a parent is not like being a talk show host. Like being a talk show host, like you build the show towards the thing you're best at, whereas your kids are always like growing on their own.
Everything you figured out is no longer useful the next day. Virtually.
100%.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice to just sort of embrace like being petty about the way they behave, and also just so much of my stand up is about a lack of competence and sort of embracing that.
Yeah.
Because what we're saying, like a talk show host, you have to project competence, and then in stand up, there's a competence to being a good stand up, but it's fun to talk about the things I'm bad at.
You definitely don't have that persona just as a person. You feel very put together.
Yes.
And head writer of it's just like, you are put together. So it's nice to see some other sides.
Yeah. And it's one of the sides.
All right. So let's talk about swearing because now I went the other route than you.
Okay.
I fully swear in front of my kids.
Yeah.
They are allowed to swear, not with impunity, but when it's called for and they land it and it's in the house and not out at a restaurant, it's okay.
Yeah.
I was looking for competence. And then also my defense of it is like, I just told the girls like, hey, these are noises that come out of your mouth and you assign what they mean to you. And so for someone as smart as you, I would love to hear the counter argument.
I love that you think this plan came from me. The smart part of me was asking Alexi what our plan was.
Yeah.
Although it was really funny, like sometimes the kids will curse and she'll look at me again, like they learned it from me. And I'm like, we walk them to school in New York City. Like
They're hearing shit.
They're hearing like
The world's out
yesterday
there.
someone's on the phone saying like, tell them to fuck around and find out. And then the kids are like, what does that mean?
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I think it's just the fear. For us, it's the fear that they're going to take it to school.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like also, by the way, let's not underestimate girls and boys. Okay.
Yes.
I think with my daughter, 100%.
You could probably trust her with it.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this word. Don't say it to school. The boys,
Yeah.
They're going to say it immediately. But also, isn't it already at school? There's no way you're introducing.
You just don't want them to say it in front of a teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes.
I would venture to say most people are like you.
Oh, for sure
Yeah.
they are.
And,
Yeah.
And you're more an exception. And I will say it is jarring to hear it come out of a kid's mouth. There's something that's like, oh my God, like that doesn't seem right. And then yeah, you're like, I guess it's fine.
The
What-
bummer is like not the word, which I talk a little bit about in the stand-up is like, but when they also steal your delivery, so they like, and how you like, because I will say like, I've got a bad habit of sometimes like mutter. If like Alexi and I are having like the most minor of disagreements,
Yes.
I'll like say like, Jesus Christ, as I like walk out of the room.
Yeah.
And like the other day for real, I just heard Ash be like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, all right, we got to talk about it.
Yeah, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, they pick up earliest.
It's so funny because I guess it's
Yeah.
probably one we fall back on. And when we have, like, I don't even think I say it that much, but I think maybe when I had kids, I was like, oh, this is the safe one. And then your kids
Right.
learn it. And weirdly, I'd rather have them say fuck off.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like, just seems like so world weary.
Yeah.
It like, it's like literally like I'm biblically upset.
Yes.
Right.
And just it's years of it too.
Yeah.
It's more of a like, I
Yeah.
can't deal with
Yeah, like this
anymore.
again. When kids say not again, it is genuinely my favorite thing. My son once
Oh.
fell off his scooter and said not again. And it made me
Aw.
laugh so hard that he's already lived it, like, because it's like
Yeah.
the life I've lived.
Yes.
If you can call this a life. It's so
My
Oh my
most
God.
memorable exchange with a human that I didn't know was not again. I was at a gas station in Rancho Cucamonga driving home from Detroit. And I had a can of gas I kept in the trunk in case I ever ran out, because I did.
Yep.
And I drove cars for a living. So I'm at a gas station and I'm using a fucking gas can to fill up like a gallon of gas. It's not the safest setup. Car rolls in directly next to me on the other side of the gas pumps. And as he rolls on, there's smoke billowing out of the hood. He jumps out and he pops the hood. And when he pops the hood, it's flames like 6 feet tall. And he goes, fucking not again. It's like, your car's already been engulfed in flames before. And also, did you not learn in that first time? Don't drive directly to the gas station and pop your
God,
hood.
it's really good.
Not
Yeah.
again from a guy whose car's on fire at a gas station.
We were just in Albuquerque and I borrowed my mother-in-law's car. You know my mother-in-law,
Yes.
Joanne. I really apologized to her that I'm going to tell the story, but I was like, hey, can I borrow your car? And she was like, yes. And I had to run an errand. And I'm driving, on the, highway in New Mexico. And I'm stopped to get on an exit ramp. And a guy pulls up next to me and goes, hey, man, your gas door is open and the cap's off. And it was just like dangling. I'm like, God, I get the door open.
Sure. Easy
but
mistake.
cap off as well.
It's a
I was
real
like,
fuck
Joanne,
you.
what kind of rush were you in?
Yeah, were you stoned? What was going on?
Just
Joanne?
like a dank, clank, 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 clank.
Okay, now's a great time to do at least 5 minutes on your father-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I got to be with you for that couple weeks in Martha's Vineyard, which was such a lovely, lovely, lovely couple weeks, I had the pleasure of meeting your father-in-law and falling deeply in love with him.
It happens.
Yeah, he's such a fucking stud, Tom.
He's unbelievable.
Is that good or bad to have a father-in-law that's that radical? What are the pros and cons?
There's really no downside.
There's none.
I will say, even like I bust on him all the time. And again, we were just in New Mexico.
Yeah.
He can't drive for like 3 minutes without telling the kids about like the historical significance of a rock or,
Yeah.
No.
Everything's a tour.
Everything's a tour.
Yeah.
And the best, Axel, the 7-year-old, we were there at Christmas and we were driving and I was in the backseat with Axel. And Axel's got glasses and he's just sort of like staring out the window and he looks tired. And Tom said, I got another story. And he just went, another one. And it was just so funny to have a 7-year-old be cognizant of. But then, we were just there. And like he and my brother-in-law Tully as well. They took Ash and Axel and my niece Agnes, and they like drove him to literally took him for like 7 hours, take him to National Park.
Yeah.
And like and they come back and they are like full of knowledge.
Yeah.
And the way that like, I'm like, oh, right. The kids love getting history the way Tom is dealing it.
Yes.
He's tireless for a man of his age, except he takes like 8 5-minute naps a day.
Some of them while driving the kids.
Hopefully not. But a terrible, unfair thing I do to him is because he will fall asleep anywhere, mouth open, including this last summer in a hot tub.
Oh, sure. My dad pulled
And
it.
every time I catch him, I take a picture
Sure.
and I send it to the girls, Ariel and Alexia, and I write, sorry for your loss. Because he sleeps like a dead person.
He passes.
He passes. I'm
for
so
5
sorry.
minutes at a time.
I'm so sorry you're finding out via this text.
I got to paint a physical picture of him. He is rugged. He's handsome.
Yeah.
He loves riding motorcycles. He's an adventurer.
Looks like a Don Johnson type.
Don Johnson. He's down to 3 fingers, I think.
He has 1 hand, 3 fingers from a paint gun accident because he's a home builder.
Yeah.
And he injected like a toxic paint. And amazing that he did not lose the entire arm.
Yes. So, but this has not slowed him down at all.
No.
He is operating motorcycles and
Plays
driving
guitar.
the boat. Yeah. I'm almost again in your face. Look what I'm still doing with this.
Yes.
He's a very impressive man. Totally self-made. Built his own home in college, and that became
learned how to build Adobe houses
by himself.
Wow.
Incredibly warm human being. Friend to all.
Yes.
Has had, I will say that I've experienced, there are like incapable of having a falling out with him. I feel like because he will just will, and it must, like, it's so funny because he is, again, we hit along incredibly well. It's so funny to me that like Alexi could not have married like a more different person. And I'm almost like, did you know that your dad was still going to be so in your life? You were like, I might try to go out and get a different thing.
Yeah. Someone to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Because they are, both Tom and Tolia, like if I were capable of being emasculated by like sort of handymen, I would be like the most neutered man.
Right.
Because they just like the amount they like walk over, they'll like come to my apartment with just like a punch list and a tool belt
and get going.
And just like, it's never even occurs to Alexi to ask what I would think about it.
Well, the highlight of the whole trip for me was Tolia put the car into a wall.
Yep.
And it needed the tire changed. And
Yep.
people didn't know how to proceed. And I got really involved and changed this tire on the side of the road. And I felt like that just cemented Tom and I.
You spend 2 weeks with my in-laws. There's going to be a crisis that Tolia brought about. Wait, I have a good Tolia story. So Tolia is my brother-in-law. He adopted from Russia when he was 5, which again speaks to the kind of people my in-laws are.
Yeah.
He told the story in the boat and I started crying.
It's incredible.
He learned Russian when he went to pick him up and he learned how
Tom
to...
and it was like Siberia. It wasn't like easy to get to Russia.
Right.
And they just picked randomly, like, we're going to just go.
They went to an agency in Albuquerque, and so they had a picture of the kid. They knew who it was.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
And they already had 2 daughters.
Yeah.
He had seen something on like 60 Minutes.
Yes.
Just before that, I think.
And they have video of, it's the craziest thing, because like 5 is a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 5 is a full
Formed.
kid. And especially, I did not comprehend what that means until you have your own kids. And when they're 5, the amount of connection you have with them already. And like Tolia just walked out of this orphanage in like a parka because it was, the middle of winter. And this woman who was like ran the orphanage, just like pats him on the back like 3 times. And then he's just like off with Tom.
And Tom learned how to say in Russia, "Hi, Tolia, I'm your papa."
Oh,
No, it's really amazing.
Oh,
so sweet.
I was like, you motherfucker.
It's
that's
nuts.
What a
so
dude.
sweet.
He is a dude. He is as special an uncle as Tom is his grandfather. Like the amount that I have, inherited as great. What I get from them is really special, but what my kids get from them is like irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool thing. But Tolia is also super handsome and super jacked.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Athletic. Fearless.
Walks around the entire
Yeah.
summer. The
Okay.
entire summer with a shirt off.
Yeah. And generally no shoes, too.
Generally no shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
He picked me up once at the Martha's Vineyard Airport. And
You
little
meant
airport.
He literally picked you
He could
up.
also do that.
Airport.
We have every year on his birthday, we take a picture of him holding all 4 of his nieces and nephews. Like on his.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a specimen.
He's a specimen.
Yeah.
So he picked me up, and it's a tiny airport. It's like you just like pull up front, and I'm like getting my bags in the trunk, and some people walk by, and I notice that thing that again, people our level of fame sometimes can clock when we've been recognized.
That's right. Right.
And so I see this woman lean over to this guy, and in my head, she is saying like, but as they pass, I hear her say, "That's the guy who never wears a shirt." Like
Because he's famous on the island.
The lore of Tolia is like island wide, and he is the one. And it's
Yeah.
like, who we finally saw?
Yeah, the
Wow.
shirtless
The shirt
guy.
guy.
He is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
That
He's
is-
gorgeous.
I got to see him cook pizza.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
so he's just covered head to toe in flour.
Yeah.
No shirt.
Yeah. With the way he's an uncle is transferable to even those with whom he has no blood connection.
Yes.
He's got an uncle vibe. If he didn't have nieces and nephews, you'd still think like this guy should be an uncle one day.
Within 5
Aw.
minutes, my kids were riding around in like a gator with him,
Yeah.
looking at an orchard or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
He's special. The whole thing is really
Yeah. It's a
satisfying.
very exceptional group of people.
What's the downside of that?
Well,
Let's just say that you're a very confident guy
yeah.
and it's working for you, but you can see where you'd get gobbled up in that scenario,
Well,
right?
yes. You can't penetrate the vibe they've established.
You've joined their
Uh-huh.
family.
Yes.
Yes.
And like whatever I brought is like not taking.
they're not
Right.
interested. They thought that through already.
Yeah, it hasn't been like, and then we'll breed, and then it'll be half. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's very much their world.
Yeah.
And but I've come to peace with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one might say my family could be better at like talking about our feelings,
Right.
whereas like I think their family could be a little bit better at shutting the fuck up sometimes.
Reserved.
Sure,
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
some
yes,
people,
yes.
some feelings go unstated.
Yeah.
But because they are always talking about any slight,
Yes.
it
Uh-huh.
all is like it all passes quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas like with our family, there could be like I'm sure there's something like I did 15 years ago that my mom's still holding on to.
There's slivers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have slivers.
And again, our family's like really tight, but our tightness is basically a lot of it has been like, you know what, we're gonna let the bad stuff. Let's just ignore it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually it will go away.
Whereas I do remember one time this is by the way, it was a few summers ago, but I made the mistake of saying like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels like sometimes the environment here is a little toxic.
Yeah.
And Alexa was like, what do you mean by toxic? Give me one example. And I was like, well, 3 times in the past week, someone has pulled out of the driveway so fast that gravel has hit the side of the house.
Uh-huh.
Right. You live directly next door to your father-in-law.
Yeah. By the way, that's a recent development because we were like basically living in their house. So
Uh-huh.
this is,
Wow.
but yeah, it is again, watching him just like, I mean, he like wakes up and just like comes over the hill
That's right.
Yeah.
and it's great.
He's living my dream life, but
Yes.
it wouldn't be my dream life for a father-in-law.
It is. You know what? If I would say if you'd asked me before I had a father-in-law, does that sound like the dream? I would say no.
Right.
But like he's the one you want to roll around.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
As we were, getting a house next door to my in-laws, which by the way was predestined. Like there was, I was not, as soon as I met Alexi, we both knew what we were getting from the other one's families.
Yes.
And I think it's really one of the things we most appreciated about the other one of like, okay, good.
Yes.
Like family matters, and it's a big
Yeah.
deal. You know, I was saying like I want to get one of those like invisible fences for dogs and like get Tom and Joanne tagged.
So you at least get a heads
Just
up.
a little zap or just something.
Yeah, are you free to walk out in your backyard
What's
naked
that?
ever? You would never step
No,
outside
no,
nude.
no,
yeah.
I mean, I would say even if I lived alone
Right.
on an
You
island, I
wouldn't do
might
it.
throw something around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do your parents ever interact with them?
They do, yeah. I mean, not a lot, but they'll come and visit in the summer and spend time together. I think both of them appreciate how it worked out. Like
Okay.
ultimately, like what you could end up with for in-laws.
Mhm.
They none of them have any complaints.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
good.
It's great.
Okay, now this was another fun thing that I thought we could hash out a little bit, which is you don't do any yelling at home.
I try not to.
You
But
try not
yeah,
to.
I'm not going to go on record and
Right. You do minimal yelling.
try to. Yeah.
I too do minimal yelling. But of course, we didn't come from that.
Yeah.
And so what's fun for you is, or not fun, is when your dad's around, still get a taste of the
Oh,
yelling.
it's the best. Yeah. When my dad, this is like, it's so funny because again, like the way my dad yells is even when I yell,
Yeah.
it's not the way my dad yells.
Right.
So let's just say like I yell every now and then, but like not 10 out of 10 the way my dad yells.
Yes.
I yell like with the parking brake on,
Uh-huh.
whereas my dad like he was like, fuck,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
And a couple summers ago, and it was my brother too, but the boys were on a rock and Ash pushed Axel off the rock. And it was and Axel hit the ground and immediately started crying.
Hmm.
And I think he was like 5, maybe 4. So a little kid hits the
Yeah.
ground. By the way, when I watched it happen, I knew in advance what my dad's reaction would be.
That's right.
Ah.
You probably even skipped all your thoughts about your kid and go straight to what's coming next. From dad.
I was like, immediately, I was like, well, however bad he's hurt, what's about to happen is worse.
Yeah.
It was some version of like, don't you fucking push your brother. Like some like
Yeah.
immediate like,
Yes.
and like everybody, and immediately that was the headline.
Yes.
Yes,
All of a
yes.
sudden, like B12 was like a little small article that was like son pushes other son off.
Yeah.
Like that, nobody cared about that.
Right.
Because nobody had ever seen. And again, it was
Yeah.
a bunch of people caught it. And my brother too was like, "Rah, rah." And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
he
God.
was- okay,
My
the
brother
whole-
immediately jumped too. Cause like they were both like, and again, they were just,
The whole family system was
but it was
enacted.
like looking out for Axel and like this.
Yes.
And Ash was just like, I mean,
a shell shock.
shell shocked. And everybody was shell shocked. And whereas I was like, and again, like, I remember later, Alexi was like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's a lot to get yelled at like that. I'm like, I'm sorry, who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah.
Like, like I lived with him.
I mean, a scrimmage
Yeah.
game that you
Like
just saw.
if anything, I'm living proof that you turn out fine.
yes.
But the best part was Ash was like, also, I didn't even push him. He jumped. And I'm like, don't lie to me. And then I swear to God, like 6 months later, it came up. Like Ash was like, yeah. And like, I'm like, you have to entertain that he's still, I'm like, yeah, no, I remember. And he goes, and I didn't even push him. He jumped. And I'm like, he didn't jump. And Axel was like doing something else. He goes, no, I jumped. And I'm like,
No.
son of a gun.
Oh,
Oh my God.
so wait.
So the whole thing, like, he was
Hold
like,
on,
Ash
no.
was
Hold
getting
on.
yelled.
Do you think though the older brother infected the younger brother with the story, or you think he jumped?
I think Axel's like, Axel wouldn't, yeah. He's
Okay.
like, oh yeah, I jumped. I'm like,
Does your brother have kids?
no.
He's being a protective.
He's a
mom.
vegan.
Everybody's being pretty.
He's a
Yeah,
vegan? Is
he
that
doesn't
what
have
you
kids.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, he's vegan.
That really
He
came out
can't
of
have
nowhere.
kids because they're meat.
What I heard
Okay.
Seth talking about in a very funny bit is how like people imagining how they would ever deal with a family member transitioning to another gender,
Uh-huh.
and how he said he would take that 10 times over a family member who's vegan.
Just like for the inconvenience it brings into your
every
life.
single meal.
Yeah.
Is there butter in this? Is there butter in this?
Yeah.
Is there?
What's in this?
Oh my God. That gets kind of complicated because I feel like when you don't have kids, but you're around a lot of kids and you care about the kids.
Yeah.
There's like a fine line about what you can say and do. It's tricky. I'm
I would
around
say
a lot
the
of kids.
way my brother and my parents probably both think like we're not great at giving our kids consequences and
That
sticking
you
to
are-
it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
That's their judgment of you.
yeah, I would
Mhm.
imagine. My projection is they think the kids kind of just like run roughshod.
Sure,
Uh-huh.
sure.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Okay, now what about this though as an argument? So that stuff started happening for us, of course. There's like different family members that do
Yeah.
different things, and you hear later in bed, so-and-so told me this, and you're like, yeah, that's a weird story to have told, whatever. But I ended up coming to peace with it by going, yeah, what a blessing. Thank God they're around people that are doing things that they don't approve of so they can see that that's an option.
Yeah,
Like, I think it's a blessing when dad comes into town and screams at the kid.
I do too.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I also just like when my kids see, I don't know if they're quite old enough yet, but like, oh, that was dad's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is,
I really relate to this. You try to keep a running list of like 3 grievances against your family at all time.
yeah, mostly about my kids. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly about their kids. Now, here's my question to you, because I am currently evaluating this. My kids are 10 and 12. We've reached an age where at least potentially someone's parent listens to the show, a
Yeah.
classmate's parent
Yeah.
listens to the show. And somehow, and I think I'm very good at always saying what I tell about them and what I don't.
Right.
And they seem very on board. But it's starting to go like, I know better. I heard Stern say he regrets talking about his daughters, that they came to
Yeah.
resent that. Are you playing that game in your head at all?
I am. I certainly am. And, I think that for me, it's very much what do you like when I go and do stand up, I give myself, the freedom to say whatever I want in front of one room of people. But like when it comes to like time to like actually film it,
Yes.
I put a lot of thought into the fact that it's the permanent record
Yes.
and what the kids are going to see and how it's going to affect them.
Yeah.
The first special was called Lobby Baby, which is obviously about Axel being born in the lobby, and that has been a real positive because people will come up when I'm with the boys and they're like, "Which one's Lobby Baby?" And they both.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a fun thing.
For sure.
I also like. I mean, at the same time, like, am I, am I putting some level of celebrity on him that is? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. These
But
are
at the
tricky.
same time, it's like, this is who we are.
Yeah.
This is the family business.
That's right. There's
And
some upsides.
There's some upsides from the
Yes.
dad side. But the most important thing, which, obviously we're both doing, is like, I want to make sure they know I put a ton of thought into it.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it wasn't. And so, and I'll obviously own whatever piece of it I got wrong, but I
Yeah.
don't think they'll ever be able to feel like, I did it with any sort of, it was never tossed off. And Alexi's very helpful with that too. Cause we talk about, both what's allowed with kids and what's allowed with her.
Yeah. When I'm anticipating a positive outcome,
Yeah.
the speech I have for them is like, I chose to let you know all I do is think about you, and all
Yes.
I do is talk about you. And in my positive forecasts,
Yeah.
it's like they'll understand, all I did is think about you and talk about you. But that's likely not how they'll feel.
Well, the thing I will genuinely be able to say is like, I had this show that was on TV and I talked about the news. Every day was talking about the news.
Yes.
And so then when I wanted to do stand up, all I wanted to, and sometimes when I talked about the news, it made me sad.
Yeah.
And or it made me
Mhm.
depressed and it made me stressed out.
Mhm.
Talking about you guys, I was never anything but happy
Yeah.
talking about you guys.
Yeah.
And I think that people, when they saw me talking about you, even when I was talking about how you drove me crazy, they knew I loved you because I would never have done it otherwise. And so
Yes.
Yeah.
again, this is like, I mean, I feel like I'm saying this to a person who's screaming at me only as I go into the future. But that is the truth of it,
Yeah.
And when people, and again, it is that weird thing of like, oh, I'm the, when you realize, oh, I'm a stand-up that talks about my family. And it is because it's like, yeah, that's just what I want to talk about.
That's all you got left,
Yeah.
other than you could be talking about your work or your family.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, I think there's, incredible stand-ups who have this ability to like process the world at large.
Yeah.
And make these observations. And like, I've never kind of had that skill. And it wasn't until, if you talk about the idea of like filming a special as does it feel special? Like it was only until I was talking about them that it felt like special to me.
Right.
As opposed to like, here's my joke about climate change and here's my joke about, I was never good at like constructing that in a way that made it feel better or more special than anybody else's.
Well, I wrote down one of your things you said about why you even do stand-up, which I can relate to greatly. You said, I do these specials to prove a thing that nobody has ever asked me to prove, that I can also do stand-up because I don't think people see me as one. And then I was wondering, I interview lots of people where they'll say, they thought I couldn't do blank.
Yeah.
And the more I've heard that story, and I'm guilty of it myself, I do wonder, was there really a person that said that?
Yeah.
I think there's almost never a person that says this thing that we think we're motivated by.
Well, you were rejected from you mentioned it early on.
For 3 years.
Certainly,
3 times.
Of
Those
the
things
meows.
shouldn't matter. They can make the trajectory of your life take a full right or left turn.
It'd be so lovely if you're like, I want to do it because I love doing it, which is also the truth.
Yeah.
But it is so funny how many times where the amount you want to go happy now, and everybody's like, who are you talking to?
Yes.
I'm sorry, we're just real quick. Or like, see? And they're like, I'm sorry, just real quick. Who?
Yeah, that
who
was
is
your
that too?
Yes, that's the phenomena I've recently feel like I've stumbled upon. Is like, I think that's people really do think the shadow are real people.
Is it just, do you think, because we don't want to admit it's us? Like that we are the ones that are causing us, like that our self-doubt, we don't want to think it comes from us. So we're like, who made me do it?
Yeah, I think it's delusion. I think it's like you're afraid people think that.
Right.
And you're thinking about so much that you're afraid people think that all of a sudden they just think that.
Right.
Like you cross some bridge and now in your mind, that's what they all thought about me, but you never talked to anyone. You just assume they thought that about you.
And it should be enough. It feels good to be good at things.
Right.
So like that should just be enough. It's like, why do you do stand-up? It's like, I like getting better at it, and then it feels good to be good.
Yeah, I also just think as much as I hate people talking about the power of story, I also think it's incredible, the power of story. And I think you need to tell this story, or the adversaries, this group of people who are doubting you, they don't even exist. But it's almost like you can't even think in a way other than that.
Yeah.
That's architecture.
I mean, I think too, when I look at the people I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by in an incredibly competitive environment, right? Like my years at SNL, like I couldn't have been there at a better time, not just for talent, but like the quality of the people.
Yeah.
And so it is weird when you like actually step back and you realize, oh, actually, I think everyone was rooting for me. Like it was the opposite of the story I was writing. It wasn't just that they were neutral.
Right.
They were like the wind at my back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it begs the question, like, can you still achieve things without this erroneous story you've bought into?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that would be the dream.
It would be the
Is that
dream.
we don't need all that.
I remember seeing Madonna's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I remember her speech. She was like, this is like some version of like, I'm paraphrasing, like, this is everybody who thought I couldn't do it. And it's like, oh my God, like literally there's nothing anybody has thought you couldn't do for 30 years. Like, how
90% now
and yet
of
you're
the ride.
still got that moment of like,
It's the Michael
Happy now?
Jordan Hall of Fame thing.
no,
where he's
that- I
like,
guess that's the
this,
clearest.
This high school guy, like, what? You are still caring about that?
Yeah.
Still something to prove?
Are you wrestling with the your relationship with time in that in 2 years you'll have been doing late night as long as you were on Saturday Night Live? Does that seem impossible, like relative to each other?
Yeah. I think it's also, I'm pretty close to have worked in the building as long as I hadn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
you're at 25 years and you're 51 or whatever.
And that thing where you're like, oh, I've spent more hours in that building than I spent in the house I grew up in.
Right. Or any of the schools combined.
Yeah. And so that is a real trip. I turned 50 and I didn't have any. Alexi was like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then like, I feel like whatever, like 51 was the trigger. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I'm very, I think I'm very good at looking back and be like, couldn't have imagined this, like this is, past what I was aiming for.
Do you ever use that number 25 to quiet the fear that you have or do you have the fear that this is going to end tomorrow still? Or if not,
like the job or the life?
Employment.
Yeah, I do. I mean, only because, it is such a time we're living in as far as the entertainment industry. Like, I don't like.
But your whole 10 years have been in the like
I know.
the precarious part of late night.
Certainly. There is this weird thing that I feel like I shifted from fearing that I wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah.
And now my fear is weirdly more outside of my control, which is like, it just at some point, like the ecosystem might not
You
support
might be in
it.
a post late night world.
Yes. And so I guess that's better than thinking it's your fault, but it is weird to not feel any control over it.
Yes.
So, but I guess that would be if I could, there's probably some Buddhist philosophy that would tell me like, no, that's the good one.
Yeah, that's the one
where
you
it's,
want.
Yeah.
You're not in the results business. You're in the show up and work business. You do the
Yeah.
thing you can do, and then
Which is great. And that has been, if there's a breakthrough over the 11 years of doing the show, which is just show up and do the work. Like that's the only part. That's the only part they're paying you to do. It's the only part you're good at. All the other problems, we have people that are as good at that as you are as the thing you do, and don't mess around with it. I sometimes take stock of, this isn't the best time to be doing what I'm doing, but at least I got in. And so I sometimes think like, all right, I think it matters. Like the body of my work matters enough that like the world knows Seth Meyers in a way that I'm happy with. Like, I don't know if that will like lead, but like I've taken my opportunity to build a thing that I know what it means.
Yeah.
And I think other people know what it means. So I'm happy about that. Yeah. I mean, I think just like the low point is just, we had, as whatever time we're living in now, like I've had lower points in the body of the show where like early on in the show, we had some like NBC executives like actually say to us, like, we're very worried about how the show's going to go.
Oh boy.
But in a great way with like no real instruction as to how to get out of it.
Just
we're
like,
worried.
we just wanted to plant
We're losing
fear.
confidence in you. So do with that what you will.
And I think part of like getting through that, of course, is, those are the things you need to realize that like, ultimately you're like, yeah, it'll come and then you'll like apply yourself to it using all the stuff you've learned over the years.
Does it help that like if it ends tomorrow, financially you're fine? Like safety wise, does that help or not really? Because you are so driven.
Yeah, I would worry about myself like mental health wise if I didn't fight. But again, like, I put a lot of thought into like diversifying my skill set, right? Like I think I could have been fine. Certainly financially, I could have been fine just doing the show for the last 11 years. But then it was like, oh, you know what? I feel like there's something to like trying to build a stand-up career and trying to like do other things.
Yeah,
and
you have 2 podcasts.
Yeah, the
podcasts
podcast,
and so there's never and it's not, by the way, it's more like try to find something that makes you as happy as late night's making you. But it's not just to have busy work or anything. And so it's like, oh, I like these things too. And so there's no one entity that can take everything away at once. And I think that's the scariest situation to be in.
Right.
Yeah.
And of those different domains, is there one that you are happiest in?
I do still love late night the most.
The late night.
It's also like there's a real family element to it. And it's the one where, part of the wonderful thrill of stand-up is how it's a real solo effort.
Mm-hmm.
And yet at the same time, like, I have a showbiz job that feels like home. It feels like going, like, it's the most comfortable place. Like I have an office that I've been in for a long time. They just take such good care of me.
Now, I was curious about this. Having had such a political point of view from the get-go, how has that like evolved, let's say like first term for Trump to now? And have there been any moments in charting that course that you were like just fatigued with it and thought like, I actually have fatigued myself with it?
I think we had, the election night, as it was pretty early where you could tell which way it was heading. Like there was a real existential dread of, oh my God, I can't believe we have to do this again.
Yeah.
I can't do it the same way because it will almost feel like if like the 5th season of a TV show was just the first season of a TV,
it has to be a new take
and
somehow.
then, we didn't quite know. And I will say we didn't have like some major meeting or anything. We just talked very briefly about like, we have to still find joy in doing this show and projecting joy and like not sugarcoating what's happening.
Yeah.
We're not going to say like, it's not that bad. Like it's not our goal to say that. But that I think like our humanity is the ability to like find joy in each other and this community that we've built.
Yeah.
And so, and that's where I feel like it's almost like luckier to be doing comedy right now than to like actually be doing the news, where you have like this way, there's only one way to kind of do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? We're going to like just shift our attitude into like, being honest, but also like no one's going to take away our ability to like be happy in the time we spend together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you felt over the years that like it's a bit of a dog whistle for people to come commiserate with you in a way that you're like, let's put it this way. I have my own political opinions.
Yep.
I find one of the most boring things in the world is to hear someone else's political opinions, because there's only two,
Yeah.
but everyone's saying it as if they thought of it themselves and
Right.
it's novel. And like, no, okay,
Yeah.
you just declared you're on that side. I get it. So I would imagine people find you in restaurants and they want to bond over that with you.
Yeah, very much. I mean, again, like sometimes I think early on people would say like, do you really think you're changing anyone's mind? And it was, no. I would like to think that maybe we could like, if someone's like, should I vote or not?
Yeah.
Right.
You would want to maybe, if they watch our show, they think, you know what, I am going to get out and cast a ballot.
Yeah. But I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone in America that doesn't know how they feel about Trump.
I think that's true.
Yeah, I don't
And
think there's
so
one left.
I think that for us, we want to make a show that's both cathartic to do and cathartic to watch.
Yeah.
Sal Gentile, who writes A Closer Look, he had this really good observation. He goes, I think our show used to be like it's a sane show written for sane people, and now it's a show by the formerly sane, written for the formerly sane. Like it's a place to go. Like, yeah, like it's like, wow, you guys saw that, right? And
Now
it's a
this
little,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the other funny thing is like when we started our show, whenever anybody said, I get my news from you, I would always say, oh, you shouldn't get your news from me.
Yeah.
You should get your news from the news. But you can come to us for a second source. And now I truly believe, I'm like, yeah, just get your news from us. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's so gnarly.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
you might as well
mess.
come to a place where like there's some half-baked impressions and some like weird tangents.
You'll hear
Yeah.
the minimum amount you need to not feel left out of the popular conversation, and you don't have to inundate yourself.
Again, if you're an actual person who's like delivering the news, like you have to do with a level of gravitas. And so like
Yeah, it's
we're
heavy.
like, if you want the real, we'll give you the real news, no gravitas.
Right.
Yeah.
It might just be a little easier to go down. By the way, we're not going to lie about what's happening.
Yeah.
We're not going to also tell you everything that's happening, but like everything we tell you is what we think is important and is very real.
I feel a difference this time around with a lot of the left, myself included, where there's more laughing at it.
Right. Well, I think there was a weird thing that we all had to process, which is like there was the first time it was like, this isn't who we are.
Yes.
And now it's like, so guys,
I
guess
guess.
who we are.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And again, it's early days, and who knows? But I am at least, I'm still finding joy in doing the show, which I think was the part that I was so worried about. Where I was like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another 4 years
Right,
of it reporting on. Now, when you did Strike Force,
Yeah.
which for people who didn't listen to it, was great, but it was all the talk show hosts.
Yep. The five of us.
During
yeah.
the strike.
During the crisis, Jimmy, Colbert, you,
Oliver.
and John Oliver. Did you discover connective tissue of all of you? And then also, how are you guys dramatically different? Like, what did you discover in that? That's such a bizarre
I love it.
thing that came about. You should imagine when we grew up, just imagining watching then that happen with Conan and Letterman and Leno or whoever.
Yeah.
It's just inconceivable.
No. Yeah. I would imagine, I think a podcast between Leno and Letterman would be real heavy sledding.
Yeah.
It obviously started from a place where, we maybe have more respect for one another than at any other era. And I think that part of it is, knowing how hard the job is. Also, it does feel like less like anybody saying like, who's the number one, who's, like that.
Yeah.
That used to be like sort of
The
breathless.
late night wars.
Yeah, breathlessly reported on. And it's funny, remember when We Didn't Start the Fire? Like it always makes me laugh when I hear like Coca-Cola wars. Like that was
Yeah.
like when Billy Joel put that in, like I don't know. I don't think he realized like how quickly the Coca-Cola wars would be over.
Yeah, that we would forget.
But there were real late night wars. And it was interesting. I feel like John and I, we're happy to sort of sit back.
Right.
I feel like the other guys were like doing the actual like rebounding and boxing out, and we just like kind of stood by the 3-point line, just like if we could ever get an open look.
Yeah.
And there's a real nice, I think there's a real, which I think comes across in one of the nice, many reasons to watch Colbert Show is like there's a real paternal instinct with him. Whereas like Jimmy as a human might be the closest to an actual host.
Right.
Like in life. He's like a life host.
Absolutely.
And, he was the one, I don't think I would have had the boldness to sort of reach out and say, hey, should we all, whereas by the time Kimmel only reached out when like all you had to do was say yes.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't like, he wasn't even hosting a potluck. He's like, we did the cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you want to put your name on the ticket?
Come, yeah, right. Do you want to just put your name on the host committee?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, for me, what was the most fun part about Fallon on the podcast is, he was such a incredible sketch performer, which is an era, that for a lot of people, you kind of forget how great an impressionist he was and how great he was in sketches and doing bits.
Yeah.
And like, he had this like real, like just sort of like jester energy.
He's probably like, just as a human, he's insanely talented.
Mind-bogglingly talented.
Yeah, with the singing and the music and the instruments
and there was, I'll put episode 5 of Strike Force 5 up against any podcast of all time.
Episode 5.
Episode 5 is because again we're all in charge of hosting episodes, and so Jimmy Fallon had the idea to have, it was the Strike Force Wives episode where he wanted to do like a newlywed game where he reached out to our wives, got answers, and then he hosted it so badly. Like the way he asked it, the way he framed it, everything was an immediate disaster. And it was the greatest because as opposed to getting frustrated, like he just leaned into what a shit show it was.
Yeah.
And it is John Oliver and I talk about it all the time. Like we were just crying, laughing over
just enjoying the hell out of it.
And like, he would like, like confidently read our wives' answer and then, I think the one that made us laugh the hardest, he asked if we had, do you have any pet names? And, so I guessed, I was like, I think Babe. And then the answer was, Alexi had said Frisbee, which is our pet's name.
The pet's name, yeah.
And then it's literally like 10 minutes. It was like 10 minutes of like, but Jimmy, how did you ask? And him reading, because again, he'd just been independently texting these, 5 wives. It was the best. I also think though, he's, he was this behind the scenes at SNL and he certainly is on a show. He's also a great audience. And doing his show,
that's a lot of the job.
Yeah. Is just being audience. And he's very good at it.
And a lover.
Yeah.
Like not a hater.
Yeah. Just a lover of things. Always been a lover of things.
Yeah. It's a pretty sweet quality.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, I guess the only thing we didn't talk about was The Lonely Island with Seth Meyers podcast.
Wonderful.
I didn't realize those guys met each other in junior high.
Isn't it crazy?
I'm so envious of that.
I know.
They got to stay together.
That podcast, there's so much being written about, which I think is really true and a very serious, I don't know if it's a endemic or epidemic, but like the lack of close male friendships.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I truly believe like every man of a certain age should just start a podcast. Like literally maybe not even listeners, but like the fact that we're getting together once a week and it is a disaster to schedule.
Oh, I can't imagine.
We're like no guests, but 4 hosts, every one of us doing other stuff.
Yes.
Rageful texts, anger, missed, like 2 of us on the East Coast, 2 of us on the West Coast. The amount that we are showing up 3 hours apart from the start time because we're idiots.
You got it wrong.
Disaster. With that said, it's so lovely to like, I haven't hung out with those guys like this since SNL.
Yeah, you have a scheduled hang.
Yeah, and it's like an hour of a scheduled hang. And all we're doing is talking about like one of the happiest times of our lives.
Yeah.
And it's the best. And those guys are, they completely, I don't want to say completely changed, but they were one of the real inflection points of how comedy changed.
Yeah, you talk about how they arrived and you were going to show them the ropes. And then like January, they do Dick in the Box or one of them.
Lazy Sunday, yeah.
Lazy Sunday, and then they're on the cover of a magazine or something.
The New York Times art section. You're like, if you guys want to run your sketches by me, I'll let you know if the font's wrong.
I'll help you punch these things up,
Guys, I do want you to know you're still embarrassing yourself with format. I know you're big hit, but like your formatting is embarrassing.
Now, let me ask you this. When you were at that 50-year anniversary, Are you able to integrate your involvement there, or is there some part of you that still feels like that's not real?
The thing that helped was just sort of, you looked around, you realized everybody there is still kind of, outside of, say, I don't know, Steve Martin, but like, you're like, where do I fit here? You know what I mean? And so
Of course.
there's something about like knowing, I don't know, the comfort in that everybody feels the same way about it.
Which is kind of unimaginable because everyone's
Yeah.
presenting as apex confidence. That's
Yeah.
the game.
But also there are some people that it's like you, it's so obvious that you're a, central part of that. Tina, central, there's people that are just like synonymous with SNL. So the fact that you guys feel it.
I know. It was crazy. I went into it like the most prepared I've ever been to like feel my feelings.
Yes.
And they still were just dragging me up and down the hall. Just like little anxiety bombs going off. And I was like, oh, I thought I was going to not trip that wire. And you just couldn't help it.
Because I can imagine myself being you and being there and literally going, no, 13 years. I mean, I was actually here for a quarter of it. So like, I am a really significant, like I can imagine myself like trying to bolster.
100%.
No, I do belong here.
I will say it as long as people want to hear it. Colin Jost was incredible that week and like wrote amazing sketches.
Yeah.
And then also like did this thing, which is the easiest thing to forget you should do at SNL, which is like he was taking care of people. And he just wanted to make sure like, and again, because at the show, that's also your job as a writer. But like, the week after you can take, you know what I mean? Like you're like, somebody has a bad week, we'll pick it up next week. These 50th, like, you're not like, we'll get you in the 60th.
Yeah.
So this was really important. He took it so seriously. And, there was a world where like, you don't need, and I'm not like being hard on myself, like you don't need to see me at the 50. You can see me in the audience, that's enough. But I was like, oh my God, I wanted to see Seth do X. Like that wasn't, I did Update. And like right now they got two guys who are great at Update. And like it was they were the guys to host it. And Jost was like, you want to do like a feature? And I was like, buddy, I would love to do. I would literally love to be behind that desk. And then he's like, yeah, because I was thinking maybe Fred and Vanessa. And so I got to do that thing with Fred and Vanessa. And it was all I could want. You know what I mean? Like being out there, like Jost on one side of me, those two on the other, crushing. And again, all I'm doing is like service.
Yeah.
But like, it's like you just get to be in the wide shot with like the people you most love and respect. And I just remember at one point just like reaching over like under the desk and like, just like just
grounding
tapping, just tapping Jost's knee and being like, this meant a lot. You know what I mean? Like that this was, because it wouldn't like nobody would have said the next day, like, oh, it was weird. It was weird that we didn't see, but like it was, and I was like, oh, what a gift.
Well, we don't know that, but that's what I would have.
But I felt it was like nice. Because that's the thing that I feel like you so rarely feel at that place, right? Like you get a lot out of it, but mostly because of the stuff you put into it. And it was like, oh my God, I feel like I've just been given a gift and I'm going to accept it and like feel like the gratitude and love from this act. And it was just like, and I had never, I will say like, I don't feel like I'd ever felt that. And so that was the most special thing.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I can imagine, I mean, in so many ways, you're like, you're a part of the early Boston Celtics, or you're a part of something that's incredible. But I also think it'd be very easy to be a part of something incredible and not ever feel like you were.
Yeah.
It seems like very easy to do.
Very much so. Nothing like you're like, you know what? I was an important part of this. And then you like look at Eddie Murphy and you're like, no, it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, but again, like when there is this time where you really are like men among gods. Yeah. And you're you were like, you know what? I was a really good man, but also, keep quoting my friend Neil Brennan, who called me afterwards and he said, everybody who ever worked on that show has so much charisma. And then Eddie Murphy and Will Ferrell walk out and you all looks like bus passengers. And it's true. Like, you're like, like you just realize like, oh yeah, like those
are the two.
Yeah. I mean, the two, well, they
Bill
did it.
Murray though.
Again.
Was he there?
He was there.
He was there.
That's why you can't do that.
I know. By the way, I don't want, like, it was a really special thing. And I feel my place in it very firmly. There were all those documentaries about it came out. And there was one about, the writing staff. And my dad watched them all. And he was really sweet. He called me up and he goes, I'm watching those documentaries. And all I could think is, that's so great that you got to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like weird that it like that kind of like that way. And like I mean, obviously he was so excited when I got on SNL, but like,
Yeah.
and it was like, when I heard that, it was like, oh yeah, it's really great that I got to do that.
Yeah.
For sure. And he's experiencing it real time with you with the same anxiety you're experiencing.
Yeah.
with it.
So
As-
it's easier for him to look back on
If
it
your
now, too.
kid is the head writer, you're scared for them and you
Yeah.
hope their show goes well and you hope
Yeah.
and to see it all worked out is like,
But you've had 2 lives of that. That's what's also like
Yes.
whenever this chapter ends, 10 years after that, there's going to be like, I can't believe you got to do that. How
I know. I mean,
insane.
that is the weird thing about, like, I don't think I fully comprehend that I've been doing a talk show for 11 years.
right.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
already in a group of, I'm going to just guess out loud as maybe 7 that have had a late night talk
one
show
show,
for a
yeah.
decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to, I don't know. Is there 7?
less than 10 people ever?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I will say, like, because I have allowed myself to feel that way about SNL. So I look forward to allowing myself to feel that way about this. And that, it's hard to reflect in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you guys will do Strike Force again when you're all 80,
Yeah.
and then you'll have the moment.
Yeah.
And your dad at 113 will say, listen to that episode.
And it'll also be like podcasts will be like vinyl. Like, like your kids will be
Oh
like,
my
what are you
God.
doing?
You got to put on the album of this episode. Well, Seth, you're always a delight. I respect you so much. I love being on your show. You're wonderful in all the ways. And then we had that most romantic.
I mean, we'd love to do it again. Can I just tell you how special it has been on my 3rd time to do it properly in person with you guys?
I know.
Here
Yeah,
on a home court. We did
generally
it in
these
person.
things go downhill.
But this was really, I feel like arrow up.
I agree.
Yeah.
We've done 3 different locations.
3 different,
for
yeah.
You. That's the only. I think he's
you
the
guys,
only one.
you guys did an away game with me.
Yep.
In my conference room,
In
and
your
then a
conference
Zoom,
room. Yeah.
and then we
Number
zoomed it.
2. Yeah.
And then we zoomed.
and then this is the real deal.
But funny enough, that was the my bag, which we just told the other day. We were
Yeah.
going from interviewing, I think, Amy Schumer to your office. And we had all these equipment bags, and I kept letting mine roll downhill, and I'd
yeah.
run screaming, my bag, and see if anyone would catch it. And it was
Yeah. Well, he did
making
embarrass
Monica
me.
super nervous
Yeah.
and making her laugh really hard, which is like my dream.
And that's in New York, and
That was in New York.
nobody ever did anything.
Not at all.
Exactly.
And I'm screaming, my bag, man. I'm running, help my bag. And I'm just like, fuck him and his bag. I hope both of them get hit by a taxi cab.
I was trying this joke about this time I was in New York, where it was like how nobody in New York thinks where you're going is more important than where they're going.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
And so someone was running down the street and their briefcase opened up and like 500 pieces of paper went flying everywhere. And not one New Yorker stopped, but every single person pointed at one piece of paper. Like that was the way they were helpful. There's one.
It's like you guys also been a New Yorker now longer than you've been anything else. And
Nuts.
It has
And
to.
having kids who are New Yorkers is a trip.
That's got to be a
Born
trip.
and
Yeah.
raised.
Yeah, yeah.
How
It's a
cool.
trip.
They're going to be savvy.
They're going to be savvy.
All right. Well, Seth, I enjoy you. I hope
Thank you.
everyone watches Dad Man Walking, watches Late Night with Seth Meyers, listens to The Lonely Island
Woo.
with Seth Meyers,
Do
and
it all.
listens to The Family Vacation.
Good luck with your son on the bike.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
I really loved being here with you. Thank you.
Only
You're-
report it if it goes well.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll come back.
I don't want to hear about a broken bone.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Be well.
All right, bye guys.
He is an armchair expert, but he makes mistakes all the time. Thank God Monica's here. She's gonna let him have the facts.
So we're still in Nashville.
And we get beautiful thunderstorms out.
There have been thunderstorms.
Do you like it? I know you don't do well with rain in LA, but like we woke up today and it was dark out.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't.
You don't.
I mean, I love the sound of thunder and I like the look of lightning. I don't like rain still,
okay.
and I don't like clouds. I still have
jeez.
SAD in the South.
Still don't like clouds.
Yeah, I still have seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
And
Even in the southern version.
the original version.
Yeah.
And when I was like waking up and it was thundering and it was cloudy and I was like, I just want to keep sleeping now.
Well, that's a nice feeling though, isn't it?
But I had to get up, and then
Oh,
I was
yeah.
resentful at the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
And probably
So,
me.
I was really resentful at you.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But one thing, we're still in Nashville, and I've become not obsessed, but really stringent and devoted to not getting a tick. Okay.
This is great. You could drop you and I anywhere and all the same stuff will just line up immediately. It's really funny. It's really funny. Like I'm hearing everyone talk about ticks and I'm like, who fucking cares? What do you think about it?
We have to care. Lyme's disease.
But caring about it or worrying about it is going to have no impact on whether or not you get it.
Well, no, because you remove them.
Well, sure, but you don't need to think about them.
Well, I have to think about them because I have to think about them to do checks on my body and then remove them, okay? So it's taking up some percentage of my brain.
Yeah.
And
Kristen too, she's found out that a certain tree is home to the ticks.
Really?
And now she wants to remove all, well, she hasn't gone that far, but it sounds like maybe she wants to remove all the trees that, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that that's what she wants to do. She's very concerned about having these trees on the property that are homes to ticks. Yeah, I guess cedars. I think that's what
Wait, really?
we learned. Yeah, they create their little. And the landscaper was saying that sometimes you're weed whipping or whatever, and the whole pod will fall down, and then you can get like 30, 40 ticks.
This is a nightmare. I'm with her. I think we got to remove.
Don't do any landscaping while you're here. How about that? I know you had planned on it. I know you were really looking forward to. To weed whip.
Yeah.
What were you looking most forward to? The leaf blowing, the weed whipping, or the mowing?
It was the mowing.
You would never weed whip with your anxiety level about danger.
No, I can't.
Because you have an open. Do you know how a weed whipper works?
Yeah, it's like
it's spinning. It's very open. You're not protected.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm with her. I think the trees should then go.
Okay.
And there's been 3 ticks on bodies.
Mm-hmm. Well,
go on.
My understanding of it is that one is debated.
Yeah, one's debated, but it's...
Like Eric's, he put it on chat.
Yeah, but he put it in a bag because chat said put it in a bag.
Okay.
And then to show the doctor or something if you have if you end up getting Lyme's disease or something.
Okay.
And Molly, who knew about ticks because she found some in some of her dogs.
Yeah.
She got close and she looked at it and she was like, it is. And chat said it was.
Okay.
And both of your daughters have had a tick removed.
Lincoln too?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
And so anyway, it's on my mind.
Okay.
And it's kind of on my mind in a way that we've interviewed 2 guests here. And I really want to ask them about ticks. It's kind of like You, the show on Netflix. Where
it's kind of like the show on Netflix, You.
It's kind of like You, a show on Netflix, where I kind of want to bring it up a lot and ask about their ticks and like, have they had any? Do they have Lyme's?
It's replaced the Pit a little bit.
The Pit went to You, that went to ticks. Which makes sense because in LA, I'm about the industry.
Yeah.
And in Nashville, I'm about nature.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have any tick stories, feel free
to further
comment,
exacerbate your panic.
Well, I'm not going to read them. I don't read comments, but you will. And then
you hope maybe I'll get anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Could do an Armchair Anonymous prompt on ticks.
There's so many things that I just immediately, but again, this is just how our brains work, which I think is endlessly fascinating about you and I. I was like, I heard, no, don't quote me and don't take any medical advice from me, but that only 1 in 10 of the ticks they bit a deer or whatever, they have Lyme's. And then of those, they have to be on your skin for 36 hours. There's all these variables that once you get into it, you're in below single digit percentage. I don't worry about stuff that's like, it's got to be like probably 10% where I start worrying about it.
Yeah, that is who you are. And I do think it's
reckless.
Yeah, because you need to look at your body for ticks. Like you do. You live here now for a couple months.
You're worried I'm not looking.
And you aren't. You told me yesterday you haven't looked
I haven't
once.
done any looking. But then I heard you can feel them. And I do feel my body.
You don't feel them.
I feel myself up all the time.
No, you don't feel them according to the people who've had
I
them.
wonder if the listener can hear.
I'm sure they can. It's thundering. It was just sunny and now. What?
Where's applesauce about horse?
Oh my God.
We just watched it yesterday, so I thought maybe I'd make you laugh.
I didn't. That really came out of nowhere. I didn't know if you were being thunder, but it was bad thunder.
Or palsy or something.
Yeah. Seizure, I'm sensitive to that. Actually, I thought we heard an Armchair Anonymous story, and that was wild yesterday. And then this morning, I thought maybe that person was having a seizure.
Oh, during the talking in tongues?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Be?
No.
She was writhing.
Oh, but I think she was like, I think she was making love to the devil at that point. Or the devil's trying to make love to her.
Tomato.
Yeah, I guess. Yes.
Anyway, we went to dinner last night we took the boat to dinner, which was lovely.
Yeah, where are you? How much do you like it? Because for me, as I've already told you, the notion that like
so fun.
You take this thing where normally you're going to go out to dinner, and if it's a half hour away, you know, you just wish you could materialize in the restaurant.
Teleport. We know that's my superhero power of choice, or whatever you call it.
Yes, chosen superpower.
Sure. That's pretty much the same thing I said.
But the notion that the best part of dinner might be traveling to and from dinner, I just think is so magical.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do love that.
You do?
Yeah.
You're not bored? Are you a little bored?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not bored.
And then the dinner was really good.
We went to
Sam's.
We went to Sam's.
Dockside. There's nothing funner than docking your boat and
I
going.
agree. It's such a vibe. That's so fun. And we did that in Austin when we went.
And it was so fun.
So fun. And this was very much that.
Yeah.
But
You could hear that one.
yeah.
It was a dark and scary night. Everyone was gathered around the campfire.
I'm waiting for you to get it all out.
I didn't get any signals that you wanted me to continue, so I've stopped.
That normally does not stop you. Okay, well, two things. One, Rob brought me a really delicious drink I want to shout out. It's a cold brew in a honey bear.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing could be cuter than this.
Yeah. I'm shocked that the honey, is there not a copyright infringement with the honey company, or is it co-branded?
Oh, don't get this place
I shouldn't be bringing any of this up. But that's interesting. Like, it is virtually the honey.
But it's probably just different enough. Like, this one
It's
has
bigger.
Eyelashes.
There you go.
So cute.
They have one with sunglasses too.
Oh,
Ooh.
cute.
Raisin, California raisins, Bader Meinhof.
Nope,
No,
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
But she has big eyelashes, and so she's definitely wearing mascara.
She's kind of flat chested. Not that that's bad, but
That's okay.
she's definitely a carpenter's dream. Flat as a board and easy to nail.
And she doesn't have really a butt. But that's okay.
Did you have any of
All
those
bodies
sayings
are great.
in your elementary school or junior
Carpenter's
high?
dream is you brought that to my knowledge. I've never heard that.
How about pirate's dream?
No.
Okay.
None of the
Were there
dream.
any small boob mean jokes?
So here I have to own my privilege. Potentially, they just never made their way to me.
That was my hunch, is that like, because it wasn't a fear of yours, you didn't even hear it.
No one was aiming those towards me.
Right.
If
right.
anything, they were like, "You fat brownie."
Oh, wow. But that also, like, a fat brownie sounds good. Anyone would say yes to a fat brownie.
I do. I would love a fat brownie right now.
Yeah.
I got boobs early. I got them pretty much. We're looking at 6th, 7th grade.
Really?
Not as big as they are now, but substantial.
And were you self-conscious about that, or you could hide it? Or did you like it?
I think I was sort of unaware. I remember wearing a bathing suit once, and my friend commented on them, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess."
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying much attention.
Yeah.
People
I
were
had that with
wearing-
my penis, which is like, I didn't know. What? This is real.
I'm just scared.
No, you don't know if your penis is big or small until
Oh.
you show it to other boys and they show you their penis. How on earth would you know?
I have a weird question about penises.
Okay.
At what point did they stop growing?
Hopefully never.
No, but for real.
I think mine's been the same size since certainly high school.
Okay, so it's like puberty. It's similar to boobs.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a period of
I think so.
time where you're like, this thing might get bigger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay, back to that. So your friend said that, and then
Yeah.
were you like, oh, that's cool. Girls want boobs at this age. Did it feel like a compliment?
I think I took it as not a compliment, but just like, okay.
Right.
Because people were wearing like padded bras.
Right. Everyone wants boobs
So
at that
they
age.
did want boobs, so I guess I felt fine.
I must increase my bust.
That's when that you also introduced me that I hadn't heard.
That is from Greece, I think. It's in a popular movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't like Grease, the movie.
Yeah, that's
so.
another one here. So you don't like dogs. Let me think of the things that anger people.
Okay, so the bear was one thing. Oh, one very fun thing. 2 nights ago, we went to a Mexican restaurant for dinner.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
And as soon as we pulled in the parking lot, I got excited because I remembered that I knew this is the type of place that has white cheese dip, not queso. This is whatever. As soon as we put it in, I said, oh my God, they're going to have cheese dip here. But Molly and Chris were like, queso? And I was like, it's not queso. Don't be confused.
It's not. It's much thinner. It's much whiter.
Very thin. It's
of course
completely
you love
white.
it because it's white.
Yeah, of course. It's very thin. You can really, I think, only get it in the South. And
it's thinner than ketchup. Like I was calling it cheese milk.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, cheese water or something.
Yeah, cheese milk. It's so good. It's
It's
my
almost
childhood.
Impossible to keep it on your chip though, because again, it's almost water.
When I first moved to LA, I told you this. Anthony and I moved at the same time, and we were on a real hunt in LA for cheese dip because there's so many Mexican restaurants in LA.
And you didn't have really the internet in its current state to search that out.
You can't get this in Los Angeles.
But
it doesn't exist. It's too LA is too authentic to Mexican food.
Well, that is what's really funny about being here is that I left Michigan where we didn't have a lot of Mexican folks. We didn't have a lot of Asian folks. So the food you were getting,
Oh boy.
but I miss not the authentic version. I love the authentic version in LA, but also like I drove by a Chinese restaurant and I'm like, that Chinese restaurant is just like the one in Michigan, which is like everything's deep fried. It's, it's classic.
It's American.
I mean, there were Chinese people that were operating it, but, and then same with the Mexican. When we walked in there, I said to Eric, what do you think this is going to be out of 10? And we started guessing. And then I said, but let's be clear. What is a 10 in this situation? For me, a 10 in this situation is like it's a Michigan Mexican restaurant where there's way too much cheese on the nachos. And it was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And I have a big spot in my heart for that.
Yes. Yes. It is Tex-Mex. That's what it is. And it is, you can't get it in California. You get real Mexican food, which is
great.
Unbelievable. It's the best Mexican food in the country.
Yeah.
But I was thrilled to have that white cheese dip. Yeah. And they poured it on everything. They poured it on my burrito. They poured it on the nacho. It was everywhere.
But you're good about this. I have space for Mozza Pizzeria, which is very expensive and very high end, and the crust is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And equally as much I like a Domino's thin and crispy.
Yes, I love that.
So that's the point I'm making with these Mexican and Chinese restaurants.
Sure. To me, but they're different, right? I love Domino's. They're not like importing cheese from Italy or whatever.
Or burrata.
Exactly. It's a different thing. And I think if an alien came to visit.
Yeah. What one would they like more?
Well, not what would they like. What would I show them? I would I'm teaching them about the world,
Yeah.
So I think
you should give them Domino's.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I would maybe because they need to learn about fast food.
Well, here's what America likes. This has been the most consumed pizza product.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you about us. Well, this is what we all eat. It feels right.
If I'm teaching about America.
Like if an alien comes down, they're like, how do you guys get around? And I go, cars. And they're like, let me experience one. I'm not taking them for a ride in a Bugatti. I'm taking for them a ride in a Toyota Corolla because that's what 99%, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I wouldn't want them to think that like a car is a Bugatti. That's a very rare version of a car.
Yeah, that's true.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Let's take a minute to thank our presenting sponsor, Audible. With Audible, the leading audio entertainment app, it's easy to discover new stories and ideas while going about your day.
Yeah, and with over 1 million audiobooks, Audible originals, and more, it's basically impossible to run out of things to listen to. Plus, there's just something about audio storytelling that hits a little different.
Yeah, it really does. Especially Audible originals that feature performances from celebrities and top voices. It's like watching a movie in your head. One on my list is Treasure Island.
Aha.
which is an Audible original drama. It's a timeless tale of pirates, lost treasure, maps, and mutiny. What more could you need?
That sounds really fun. I'm more of a psychological thriller girl myself.
Yeah, you're dark.
Yeah, I'm dark and I'm broody. And I've been hearing all about the author Frida McFadden. And I love that I can listen to her audiobooks on the Audible app when I'm commuting, taking my walks, as you know, or just like doing laundry and chores.
Well, with Audible, you can find the genres you love and discover new ones. There's more to imagine when you listen. And to make it even better, Audible has a special offer for armchairies. Sign up for a free 30-day Audible trial, and your first audiobook is free. Visit audible.com/Dax. That's audible.com/Dax. The strength of this rain right now,
It's really strong.
gallons per minute.
I wonder if it's going to let up. I just am
It
curious
will.
about my day. You know,
It
like,
will.
are we an indoor? It seems like it might be an indoor day.
Oh, okay. So let's add. So we went to this fun dinner. We took a boat ride back. That was great.
Yeah.
And then we made s'mores.
Yes. I love s'mores so much.
It was so fun.
Should we tell people what happened?
Yep. Sure. I mean,
I think it's just good for people to
you got
know.
to really be interested in us, but let's hope. We'll find out. But yes, I had a whole journey with s'mores last week. And I thought I was doing you a solid.
You were.
And I fucked up. We learned
You
that
didn't
I fucked
fuck
up.
up.
Yeah, it was I learned I would do it differently going forward.
Okay.
Which is someone I think might already mention this. Someone told me, what about Reese's peanut butter cup s'mores? They're so good.
Okay.
We tried them. But when I tried them,
Yeah.
I first had Regs. I had a Hershey's square of chocolate, had that s'more. I was like, oh, there's no way Reese's is better. This is as good as it gets.
Right.
Had the Reese's, I was like, oh my God, that's better. Then I wanted a third. And then I was like, let's do both. So then I did Hershey's and Reese's.
Yeah.
Ate that. Now, last night, we're deciding which one you're going to make.
Yeah.
And it boiled down to, I said, well, how many are you going to eat?
Yeah. And we were worried that I might only have one.
And then I said, well, then I think you should go to Reese's and Hershey's.
Yep.
Because that's, and then you had it.
And it was delicious.
And I made one.
Yep.
I think that was really important. Had I not made one myself, I would have just thought we have different taste buds. But I started with the double decker and I was like, it's not as good as either one individual.
Even though you had declared it was the superior product.
And what we figured out is like, if you're going to have three, that is the right thing because you have to top each one.
Yeah.
But to start with the top was not the right move.
Isn't that life?
So you were like, yeah. And then you ended up making.
I didn't say yeah.
Okay.
I said, this is amazing. But I will say.
You're being very delicate about my feelings. I still don't think I have your real reaction.
No,
to,
it is.
okay.
It was. What's going to be
could it be
bad?
bad?
Yeah, it can't be bad. It was delicious. But I was like, I prefer classic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to make another one with classic because I needed that.
Yeah.
And I ended up not.
You didn't make a second one.
No.
Okay.
But that's fine
maybe
because we'll
tonight
do it again.
we'll
Yeah.
do it again.
And then I will do the correct ranking.
Okay.
The correct order. But that's fun for people to learn. This is a cautionary tale.
If you're going to eat three, go Regs, go Reese's, then go combined.
Yep.
Regs, Reese's, double R.
Double R.
If you're only having one, take your pick. You could either do Reese's or
That's true.
or Hershey's.
I would never
Ever.
just do Reese's. So I'm going to do classic and then I'm going to do double decker. I
You don't like Reese's peanut butter
I
cups?
do,
Oh,
but
okay.
but I don't love them.
Okay. That's fair. I love them and I don't eat them because it's peanut butter and peanut butter agitates my
that's
arthritis.
right.
But I've been doing a lot of things that agitate my arthritis because I'm in another geography and maybe that,
Maybe that's going to change everything.
it does work. I don't know how to explain this scientifically, but like
Okay.
the level of caffeine I can drink at home
Mm-hmm.
versus here is different. I can drink Diet Coke because in my mind, I'm on vacation. I can drink Diet Coke, a ton of them at dinner, and I can still go to sleep really easily,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me think a lot of this is all mental. It's hard to know what's real and not.
It is hard
Or
to
the
know.
power that your brain has over your body.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah.
you want a honey bear answer?
Yeah, honey bear answer.
It's not the animal is not copyrighted by anyone, and it's a different enough field that they haven't run into any issues with.
Different enough.
And it's not, the bottle's
brew.
not copyrighted.
Yeah.
Copywritten.
And LG's local enough, I think, still that they're not scaling at a level that it's an issue yet.
Okay. They're flying under the radar a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just
What was the big debate we had yesterday? There was a fun debate.
at dinner,
Was it at dinner?
we had a conversation about murder. Like, could you get away with it?
Yeah. And you Yeah, we did. We had a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think you can very easily.
Yeah.
As long as it's completely random.
I think it's harder than you think.
Okay. I'll never
And-
find out. Just let everyone know.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I think DNA makes things complicated, but you were saying your DNA has to be in a database, and
Well,
yours
law
is
enforcement database, not like 23andMe. Like
but-
they have to already have it. It's like your fingerprints. If you've never given your fingerprints at the police station or to TSA or if they get a fingerprint, well, who cares? It's not on record anywhere.
But we have, like, we've given our fingerprints to TSA.
Yeah, we're
a
fucked on the
gajillion
fingerprint. I
times.
will have to wear gloves when I murder
Okay,
this.
see, yeah, gloves. That you putting on gloves. Okay.
I love when you hear I can tell when you hear yourself. I do it too. I say something really loud and then I go, oh my God, what am I about to say?
Putting on gloves with no DNA feels actually sort of like an impossible task because you
have to hold the gloves.
To get the glove on, you have to use a hand that has your fingerprints on it. Riddle
But
me
you
that.
think I'm going to pull this glove like this and then somehow that thumbprint is still alive enough on there that when I touch something now, that thumbprint's going to transfer?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
DNA is sensitive. It's
Well, there's two different
strong.
things, fingerprints and DNA. But again,
Yeah, but you go like this with your glove. And what I did for the listener is I itched my nose.
right. Yeah. You itched your nose.
I
You rubbed
probably
your
got
nose.
some snot on there.
You definitely did. Will they find that on the person you murdered? That's a big question mark. Back to ticks. 1 in 10.
I think.
Here was my argument.
Okay.
You're in a town. There's a body. The investigation begins.
Very sad.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
No one should ever be murdered
Yeah.
unless they're a murderer.
And that,
Anyways,
yeah,
that's still
tricky.
complicated.
Okay.
But they find a dead body, the police.
Okay.
They go, okay, first thing we do is we talk to any loved ones
Yeah.
because that's 90% of the time it's going to be them. They do that. It's random. It was me. So no one has anything to say. Then we go to coworkers. Then we extend out. And by the time they've gone through every person in this dead person's life that could have been responsible, months have gone by. And then they have to open up the idea that this was a total stranger and random and unmotivated and all these things. And then where do we start? What evidence do we get? Who's in a database? And I just think at that point, it's quite hard.
All right. Now, I wish I didn't know this,
Okay.
but I do know someone who was murdered.
Yeah.
It was by a complete stranger.
Right.
Yeah, maybe the car element. Okay, maybe there's probably more to that story, but it was a stranger.
And they caught the people?
They did.
Yeah, good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So maybe just because there was more to that story.
And they probably lived in town?
Not in town, but
Local.
I think. I don't actually know all the details.
Okay. But if I flew to Tucson today and then I just at 3 a.m. on a desolate road, no one's around, I committed murder.
Okay.
What are they going on, Monica?
But somebody might see, I think you're
Desolate road, I said.
but somebody might be there like in a tent. You don't know
Okay,
who's
tall
around
guy.
always.
He looked like Zach Braff.
Yeah, they know immediately who it is because they know Zach Braff didn't do it.
But again, this is like tall white guy in a fucking Toyota Corolla. Good luck.
But that's what happened to the friend.
Mhm.
That's what happened to the friend. That's what happened to my friend's husband.
Yeah, but
It was that. It's like this type of car,
Uh-huh.
this type of person,
But again,
and they found him.
again, in that situation, you're in a county and you have the registry and you start going through everyone that drives a Ford Explorer in the county. I'm just like, I fly to a different state. Anyways, you don't accept it, but you still think I'll get caught.
I think you get caught.
And I don't want to do it just to prove to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
I kind of want to just to prove I'm right.
Dax.
That's how much it's important to me to prove I'm right. Would you rather be happy or right? I'd rather be right, and I'd rather go to jail to prove I'm right. If
and you'd
necessary.
rather take a life.
And I'd rather take some innocent life.
Well, I hope you'd take mine then, because although that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, because you got to live to observe. I
Because
didn't
you
get caught.
are the. You're
I would be the first.
immediate
Literally,
sus-
that'd be the first. I would be the first. Yeah.
I think
And then
you,
Jazz. It'd
I
be
think
Jess
you-
and I. I'd be the top suspect.
Here's who they'd ask: Dax immediately.
Well, they go like, is there any friction between you guys? Do you have any fights or anything? I'd be, Jesus, which, last week? Or are you saying the whole 10 years?
Got 900 recorded.
They listen to the podcast. They know immediately.
They find clips of me going like, I'm going to kill you. I wish
you were dead.
Yeah, jokes I've made. It probably wouldn't be hard to
Exactly.
do a circumstantial
You're
case.
first, okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're gonna ask Kristen because, like, maybe she did your dirty work.
Okay, you think it's like a husband and wife killing? Okay.
And then they will have to ask Jess, because he's so tall.
See, I don't like how you phrase that. Like, they should talk to you, but they're going to have to talk to Jess.
Well,
that's not
Jess
fair.
isn't gonna kill me.
Nor am I.
You want to kill to prove.
To prove a point.
And he doesn't.
But I don't want to kill you. I just have to prove a point.
Listen, Jess is totally fine with being
A suspect.
with not proving a point.
Yeah, that's one of his great qualities.
Yeah. So like they have to ask him, but he didn't do it. And they got to ask Rob. Rob has a motivation.
He's big time.
Yeah, Rob has a huge motivation.
He might have the biggest.
And then Natalie, because again,
It benefits
dirty
her.
work. Yeah.
Partners in crime.
Bonnie and Clyde's.
Yes.
I'm actually at high risk.
I would say so, yeah.
Now, if you were murdered, they'd ask me,
Sure.
but I don't think I'm top suspect.
But that's misogyny.
It might be.
They don't think you're capable.
Really?
Well, they're like, she's so tiny, she didn't kill him. Let's find a bigger person.
Fuck. But also, and I'm on record saying I think I would get caught. Ooh, maybe I'm laying some good groundwork. I think
some
I would get
denial.
caught, so I just never would do it.
Why would I do it? I said I would get caught.
Never do it.
Yeah, that's really going to hold up. There's a long list of people they'd have to go through.
You have a long one.
Yeah, go through everyone I've been in a fight with, everyone. I mean,
Yeah. Also, just people who are jealous
hate me.
that you're married to Kristen.
That's a long list.
There's also like people.
Husbands of armchairies who are sick of hearing about.
Oh my God. We
Yeah.
have a lot.
They would never get through it all.
Putin, you've spoken
I'm
poorly
not going to say
about.
publicly, you're going to hate this, but you could probably get away with killing me.
Don't say that. And you're not going to get away with it because I'm going to be on the case. And I'm very diligent. I'm like Jagers in Zodiac, the movie. He could not let it go.
No, he got obsessed.
Yeah,
he was in too deep.
He ruined his family over it, and his whole house was covered in stacks of paper. That's going to be me.
I love that trope in movies where the detective gets in too deep.
Me too.
Yeah.
And their family falls apart.
They lose
and
their family.
Their apartment's always stacked with so many papers.
Too much evidence. And it's weird they're allowed to keep it in their apartment,
I
not at
know.
the station, but that's okay.
I think they make copies.
Yeah.
But it's like really bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyhow. Facts?
Yeah. Facts for Seth. Is Rainbow Bright a live action show as well? No.
Okay.
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 There are dolls that look kind of real,
Okay.
but no, it was a cartoon. And I guess it says they might be remaking it with Crayola,
Oh, a collab between Rainbow Bright and Crayola.
but a theatrical movie
Oh, that would be
and
great.
a new TV show.
And wow, none of it's been greenlit, but they have both a show and a movie.
Yeah, with Crayola and Hallmark.
Oh, that could be great. And Hallmark.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a lot of cooks in this kitchen.
Oh, wow. The theatrical movie is in the works from Fast and the Furious and Sonic the Hedgehog producers.
Oh, Oren Aviv.
No, Neil H.
Neil
Moritz.
Moritz. Yeah. Neil Moritz is a beast.
Oh.
He's got multiple billion-dollar movies. I was having a meeting at his office one time. The only meeting I've ever had with Neil Moritz.
Uh-huh.
And he lives. His office is directly across from the Veterans Center on the west side. Right by the 405.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know this, but when the president's in town, that's where Marine One lands.
Oh.
And so we're like in a meeting, corner office, glass, and all of a sudden we hear, and dude, fucking Marine One was like turning to land and was 30 feet from his window.
Which one, Obama?
It had to have been Obama. That's when my meeting with him was.
Wow.
Could have been George W. Bush, but I think it was Obama.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty gangster to land in Marine One anywhere you want.
That is cool.
Do you think the president gets a little like fucking swag? Like when they step out of Marine One and they get into the Beast, that armored car, and they're in the motorcade, they must go like, yeah.
I'm the president.
I'm the baddest motherfucker.
Yeah. Of course.
It must feel like that,
I hope
right?
they do.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Although it probably just becomes, again, like
You
it
get
all
used to it.
Yeah.
But I hope there's a little jolt the first 20,
Probably the first
20,
couple
20,
times.
30 times. But maybe it's like when I pull into Warner Brothers and I hear da, 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 or Universal, and Brad Pitt too.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't go away.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
Oh.
What a dreamy man.
Do you think he'll come back for his next project? That was one and done, probably.
I want him to, though.
I mean, the movie did so well. I think it's all because of
Probably
us.
It's
our fault.
Credit. Okay. Now, who played Meadow Soprano's college boyfriend? His name is Noah Tannenbaum. Oh, I'm sorry. The boyfriend in the show's name was Noah Tannenbaum, played by Patrick Tully.
Okay.
This is the guy that Seth ran into and thought he knew from college, but actually just because he had watched
just an
The
actor.
Sopranos.
Yeah.
Okay, the Lord Mayor of the City of London is an annually elected role with a history spanning over 800 years. It's a ceremonial and ambassadorial, that's a hard word to say, role focused on the square mile, the historical and financial heart of London. Key responsibilities: international ambassador, head of the City of London Corporation, ceremonial and social duties, chief magistrate of the city. One of his ancestors was Lord Mayor. Okay, the Coca-Cola Wars, longtime rivalry between soft drink producers Coca-Cola Company and PepsiCo, who have engaged in mutually targeted marketing campaigns for the direct competition between each company's product lines. It began in the late 70s and it went into the 80s.
How nasty did it get, Monica? Pretty nasty?
There were murders.
There was murders?
Yeah. Oh, Atlanta.
Am I wrong to think that Coke won? I mean, they won that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well.
You know who won?
Who?
McDonald's. Well, when you were a kid, again, we're 12 years.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, it looked like Burger King might win.
Really?
Yes. Like Burger King was super neck and neck with McDonald's.
Wow. Well, yeah.
There was just as many Burger Kings as McDonald's in Michigan.
Wow.
And I remember thinking like, I don't know, there's a toss up between these two. I don't think that anymore.
I don't think that. But I guess you're right. There were more Burger Kings then than there are now, for sure, that I see. But again, we're in LA, although I never see a Burger King in LA.
Let's find out. Can I do a quick fact while you're
look it up.
How many Burger Kings were there in the USA in 1990 versus how many there are in 2025?
I just think Burger King hasn't kept up. Like they're not doing new items.
Aaron had a complaint. He said he went there recently and he got a chicken sandwich, which is
our favorite.
All of our favorites.
Yeah.
And he's like, it just didn't sit under the heat lamp or something long enough. It didn't it tasted too fresh. Yeah. And I thought that was a cool.
It looks like it stayed about the same.
Really?
There was 7,000 in the 90s and it kind of just stayed at that now.
What about
How are you snaking my fact here? I just look at this.
This is what he does.
He's like, I have my answer. I was being polite and waiting to read it. And then he was a snake.
This is what he does.
Like on a skateboard ramp, he dropped in before me right as I was about to drop in. Yeah, so 5,500 in 1990, 6,600 now. So more now.
And what about McDonald's though? Let's see the.
Oh, great. That's a great way to do it.
I'll let you do it.
How many McDonald's in the USA were there in the 1990s versus now in 2025? So really quick before I look,
Okay.
That Burger King had gone up basically 1,000 out of 5,000. So it went up 20% in 35 years.
That's a lot, kind of.
In June 2025, the United States had approximately 13,647 McDonald's. As for the 1990s, reasonable industry context, 11,800.
That's it?
Yes,
That
so it's
can't
gone
be
up
right.
2,000 out of 11. So roughly the exact same percentage.
Also, 13,000. That doesn't seem like enough.
But that's double the amount of Burger Kings there were.
right.
13.6.
And then McDonald's is probably more international than Burger King.
Let's keep going on this.
Oh, wow.
What fast food chain has the most locations in the United States? I'm going to guess Subway.
Oh, that's a.
Although I think they might be on the decline. Let's see. Subway holds the title for most U.S.
Wow.
locations, 19,500.
Wow. Not that.
Ooh, they closed 631 in 2024, though.
Ooh, because of Jersey Michaels.
Probably.
Or Jared.
Oh, guess what comes in second?
Ooh, give me a clue. Pizza Hut.
Starbucks.
Oh,
You're looking at it, you cheater.
I swear I'm not
Oh, you've
looking.
done all the searches
But you
that I
haven't
have,
seen
and I'm
that.
looking at the answer, but you're not. Yes, Starbucks 16.9.
That makes sense. I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised that's not number one now that I'm hearing it. What's number 3?
And Mackie D's at 13.6.
Wow. But that makes at every single airport in America, there's a Starbucks, and there's not a Subway at every single airport.
No, but Subway has
Gas stations.
50% more
Gas
locations.
stations.
Bathrooms. I'm in a lot of bathrooms, public restrooms that have a Subway in them.
I'm hungry.
That was an Onion joke that was really funny back in 2010 when Starbucks were exploding.
Oh,
It was an announcement that Starbucks had opened up a new Starbucks in the bathroom of Starbucks.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
That's funny. Okay, well, real quick about Coke and Pepsi, just one last thing.
Yeah, one about the cola wars.
Coke hired Paula Abdul to represent them, and Pepsi hired Michael Jackson.
Known
So
pedophile.
back then, no one knew that. So
Other than
I'm
the victims. But
gonna. So I'm gonna say that. Pepsi won the celeb. Oh, that's mean. But
no, I
that's
think
a
even
bigger
Paul
get.
Abdul would be comfortable with you saying that Michael Jackson was a bigger pop
In the
star than her. And if she's
80s.
not okay with that,
Don't come for
she
me.
has a level of delusion that she's probably quite happy in anyways.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Because they
Like I'll even say this sometimes. I'll say, like if someone sees me and they freak out and someone sees it, I'll often say, if I would have saw Nick Cage in Michigan when I was 13, I would have lost my mind. And even I feel guilty using Nick Cage as a comp to me. I'm like, well, he was a way bigger star. So it's not a great comp.
he's a huge star.
What are Michael Jackson's total album sales versus Paula Abdul's total album sales?
Oh, this is starting to feel mean.
It's not. This
Like
is just
pop
a reality. It's like who's
culture-y.
taller, Shaquille O'Neal
I
or
know, but
fucking.
we don't need to look at the deets. Okay, tell me.
Okay, 500 million records
Okay.
in singles sold worldwide.
For Paula.
Rob, this is not your fact, Rob. Paula Abdul has sold 50 million.
Okay.
So 1/10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not like, there's nothing to have hurt feelings about.
And 50 million's nothing to scoff at.
That's 50 million more records than I've sold.
Yeah, it's huge.
By the way, that's a ton of records that she sold.
It really is.
We interview a lot of musicians, and almost no one has
I
sold
know.
50 or.
Now, how are we going to do the Nick Cage comparison? Like ticket sales? Nick Cage ticket sales to Dax Shepard ticket sales?
God, lifetime average. I would be too afraid to look those.
Okay.
I'll let Rob do it.
No.
Yeah.
Let's just let Paula Abdul do it and she'll get back to us.
Let's do it. I might be 10 times less significant as Nick Cage. Probably maybe 20 times less. Let's find out.
Okay. I just don't know. You're in more TV though. I don't think this is a good.
It's not a one-to-one.
No, I don't think we're going to figure it out.
He's not a podcaster either. I'm a much
Exactly.
better podcaster than he is.
Yeah. Well, you're much more successful. We don't know if you're better.
He might be way better.
Yeah.
And my hunch is he is.
He's collectively grossed over $1 billion in the box office.
Billion?
Yeah.
And collectively, what am I at? 300 million? 200 million?
Let me see.
What if
I'm
it's like
afraid to
10
know.
million?
I've not done well in movies. Let's be honest.
Movie? You haven't done a movie in a long time. That movies is not
Decades.
a good. This isn't good.
But if I had a
Oh my God,
without a
he's-
paddle, Zathura,
You want worldwide or domestic?
what?
Worldwide or domestic?
Whatever you did for Nick.
Yeah, it gave me different answers. You 588 million for you?
588 million?
Yeah.
And he was $1 billion?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I feel like his is light.
Across 17 movies where you had acting roles.
First of all, I would have guessed.
Chips.
I would have thought it was much lower.
Well, like Paw Patrol, right?
Yeah, I snuck in a couple that worked.
Patrol.
I'm also like, I have a credit in 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I don't deserve. I'm on the DVD
that's
extras.
Oh, cool.
And I bet I'm probably getting credit for that. But didn't he do? I would have
gotta
thought
get
his
him-
was way more than $1 billion because he
Yeah.
had that string of like The Rock and Face Off and like
Yeah,
big.
he's just been around for so long.
He's so old.
It says he's among the highest grossing of all time.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
This is very confusing. This is very confusing. Okay. How many people have had late night talk shows for a decade? You said 7, you thought.
That's high, probably.
It says Johnny Carson, David Letterman, Jay Leno, Conan, Jon Stewart, Kimmel.
And Seth.
Well, yeah, he's not on this list. So I don't understand. I don't really understand because he's not on this list. And then also I looked up Colbert and he's had his show for 10 years and he wasn't on that list.
Okay. But it sounds like I was roughly right.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we add those to an 8,
I don't think of Jon Stewart as having a late night talk show, but of course he did.
course
I guess
he
that is
did.
a late night talk
hyper successful. I loved that show.
show. Oh, congratulations on his success. I wonder if he has a hard time integrating whatever nice house he has.
Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
I think
He
he's
probably
very
feels-
modest. I think he lives in a very, very small, smaller
two-bedroom-
than mine.
2-bedroom apartment.
I love him. I want to have him on so bad.
Yeah, he's something else.
He really
He's
is.
intimidating.
Yeah. We like being intimidated, or we used to. I still do. You used to.
Wait a minute, what are you basing that on?
Like now you live here and you don't want to be intimidated anymore.
Yeah,
LA,
I don't want to
LA
feel bad
means
about myself
intimidation.
anymore. I want to feel good about myself for
All right, that's
the rest
it.
of my life. I love you.
Love you.